Hey, chat. Sorry, I'm a little...
They are, look, they're gonna be phoning it in just the tiniest bit. Because they're focusing on not dying from the heat. Oh no. So, man, I don't know how to say your name, but I believe I found you on Twitter. However, I do not see... Oh, there it is, I found it. Oh, that's super cute. Hold on, I'm gonna send it to you. Oh, that's super cute, I very much like it, hold on. They did me as the, as that one Vocaloid that I kind of look like. Here. Yeah, here. Hatsune Mizu upload file, there it is. And then I'll show everyone...
No, I'm not muted, chat. It's broken.
It's just broken.
It's always broken.
Oh my gosh, it's a huge resolution, thank you. Okay, let me...
But chat, I'm just hot today. My house is...
They're extremely... It's not even attractive hot. I mean, they are attractive hot, but it's also just physically hot. But thank you so much for the fan art.
Also, I know. For the 100 biddies, Nerdy Tech's an accountant. I appreciate it.
Nice. So how are those biddies working for you? Like, are they coming in good? Is it like, I mean, has it been an improvement on your chat since it's been introduced? Because not everyone has it. I don't have biddies or anything.
You mean Jewel? I got biddies.
But Jules, yeah. Oh, you're on Twitter? Ew! No, I'm kidding.
On Twitch, Twitter, and...
Oh my gosh, the multi-streaming king over here.
I don't know how well it her, but I liked it.
Yeah, no, I'll usually get a couple access of people commenting. You already have 20 viewers.
Yeah.
And increasing on there, so. Yep.
Alright, Chad, I'm putting my cards away. I have to find time to sort them when I can. Because I've been slacking.
Guys, look, it's gonna be like 8 months, and Mizu's, you're gonna hear a story about a puddle being admitted into rehab for cardboard crack.
It's overcast and stormy here. God, I wish it was raining here. Oh God.
Oh my, that would actually relieve you a little bit.
Oh, it'd be so nice. It's already like so muggy here. I could feel it.
Oh,
I'm
does
just gonna
that
sit
mean
in a
you might
cold
get
shower.
some rain later?
What?
God, just sitting in a cold shower with just like a plastic setup, so you have your whole computer set up just outside the shower. This is the only way it could be cool, chat.
Quick question: do you still daily or play FF14 constantly? And do you have an MMORPG that you enjoy constantly? I don't do my FF14 dailies. I play FF14 occasionally.
Oh my God, Ethel Brooks Signbuild says, and I'm sorry, you put it in public. I'm gonna say it because you said it. I started talking to a woman who's 33, 8 years older than me, but she's wanting me to get a $20 Steam gift card to give to her kid to keep him distracted. I think that's a big red flag, and you should probably hit the eject button on that one, buddy.
Yeah, imagine dating a woman with a gamer son.
I know, right? Well, it's not even a gamer son. It's like, look, you start talking to a girl, and instantly she's like, "Can you get me a $20 Steam gift card for my kid?" I mean, we're at a Wendy's right now, but okay, sure.
Also, yes, Satoru, you got fucking hacked on Discord. Fucking lame.
Satoru, you dummy. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna call you a dummy, but like, come on, you don't click sus links, especially on Discord. Come on, buddy.
I was asleep, I didn't click any bad links, just got brute forced. I'm not sure I believe that.
What, you just got brute forced? No, it means your password's been leaked somewhere. Do you use the same password for multiple websites? Because that's something you shouldn't do. Death the Goat, thank you. I do know that when you told me that if you asked I was related to Tito, it was meant as a compliment. I know. I was asleep. I woke up to it. I think your password's been linked. Or something. Or maybe, like, cause, I mean, look, it's so difficult to brute force somebody. One, like, if you're being targeted by brute force techniques to try and get your password, you've pissed somebody off to an 11th degree, because targeted brute force attempts almost never work. What likely happened is some fucking company that has your common password got a data breach, got that data leaked, that stuff was sold on the dark web, and that's how this individual managed to get into your account. If you use the same password for multiple things. So I am sorry, but it's not likely that you were brute forced, more like, you know, a company fucked up on your behalf. Hitter 101, a likely story.
But chat, I have picked out a horrendous video to force Ava through today.
Yes, 26 minutes of cringe.
And I hope you guys are proud of me, because it took me forever to actually find this fucking video. I found like a couple people doing like...
Was it one of those? Yeah, the reaction said.
Well, I found a couple people doing like 1 minute
video.
reactions of the worst parts of it, and could not find the actual full video anywhere. It took me forever to find a channel that had it.
I've been noticing a lot of that too. Is where like people, oh yeah, this person got arrested, and they only show like 2 minutes of footage. I'm like, I know there's more footage of this. You can tell from the context there's more footage in this. Why are you only reacting to the hot? Like, guys, oh no, the short form react content needs to fucking just calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
Makes it harder to find the full stuff.
And this channel
Anyway.
is going to give us a little bit of a teal deer on the case leading up to this. As far as I can tell, other than in court writing, there actually are no previous videos of these two in court. This is the only video of them in court.
Mom goes mad after finding out kids just, oh, this is gonna be great. I've seen this happen a few times in person. It's one of the most amazing crash outs you'll ever see. When mom doesn't get what she wants, it can get crazy, man.
This case, Atkinson v. Sue, came before a judge in what appears to be a Michigan Circuit Court for a review hearing addressing outstanding parenting time complaints filed by both parties. The plaintiff father, Aaron Atkinson, appeared via Zoom. The defendant mother, Samantha Sue, appeared on audio. Neither party was represented by an attorney. Since the last court date, friend of the court, Ms. Leopard, had conducted a full custody and parenting time investigation that included interviews with all three of the parties' children, who were 16, 14, and 13 years old.
Okay, we're going to pause here.
Ms. Leopard's
but just a second. It looks like instead of some states will have what's known as a guardian ad litem. Some will have what's known as a minor's advocate. Some will have what's known as just a friend of the court. In this context, friend of the court is basically a guardian ad litem. This individual, it's their job to find out from the perspective of the children what the living conditions are like, and that'll actually help the court make a decision on who gets, full custody.
Ms. Leopard's recommendation, dated August 13th, 2024, was that the mother's parenting time be set at every other weekend from Friday at 4:30 to Monday to school during the school year, and week on, week off during the summers, with exchanges on Sundays at 6 o'clock. The recommendation also called for the outstanding parenting time complaints filed through July 8th to be dismissed. In Michigan, friend of the court investigations are authorized under MCL 552.505 and are conducted when custody or parenting time is in dispute.
Chat, look, I know you guys are all probably bored from this, but I'm having a great time.
This is important stuff.
The investigator interviews both parents, the children, if they are of sufficient age and maturity, and relevant third parties, such as teachers, therapists, and other collateral contacts. The resulting recommendation is presented to the court, and either party may object. Under MCL 722.23,
okay, so Satoru actually asked a question that's relevant. Isn't friend of the court the same term as those who make SCOTUS filings in support of an argument that's to be heard? What you are referring to is an amicus brief. It's not restricted to just SCOTUS. Anyone who considers themselves a friend of the court, usually outside attorneys or people who don't have direct standing in the case, will file what's known as an amicus brief and a friend of the court brief to tell them that, hey, I know I don't have standing, but these are just some of my thoughts. And as someone who frequently deals with this court and talks with this court, I would like you to consider my opinion, even though I don't have standing. So this Michigan friend of the court, this is actually somebody who's conducting an investigation on behalf of the interests of the minor children, whereas an amicus brief is just another term for friends of the court briefing or filing.
Yeah.
Best interest of the child using 12 statutory factors, and when children are of the ages present.
Also, really quick, thank you, Death the Goat, for the membership. Baracho Gato, thank you. Where were you when Mizu was late and not straight? I was in chat holding the line. I was just a little late. I blame the heat.
Look, guys, I straight up suggested that Mizu, we could skip this week if you want, because that's how much I know yeah, they're like, no, I'm going to keep my schedule despite the fact I am a boiling puddle right now.
Slowly evaporating.
Slowly evaporating.
In this case,
just understand Mizu's dedication.
Yeah.
He's a very dedicated puddle.
13, 14, and 16, their preferences carry significant weight under Factor I, which considers the reasonable preference of the child if the court deems the child to be of sufficient age to express a preference.
For the record, this matter is before the court to review any outstanding issues.
Just so we're clear, lady on the bottom here is not mom. Mom is not actually in yet.
That's probably the friend of the court, isn't it?
Yeah, and that is Aaron Atkinson up here in the right.
Yeah, he appeared via Zoom. From what I understand, does the mom appear just via audio, or is there video too?
Don't worry, she'll be in here.
Okay, just making sure. Because
Because
I would hate it if we only heard her, you know?
Yeah.
I want to see her crash out.
Monthly parenting time complaints. This hearing is being conducted via Zoom. Aaron Atkinson, the plaintiff, is present. Is Samantha Sewell present on audio?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good morning to both of you. On audio?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good morning to both of you.
Morning.
Since we're last in court, Mr. Pratt has conducted a custody parenting time investigation, which included an interview of all three of your children. Mr. Pratt has made a recommendation. Have both of you received a copy of Mr. Pratt's recommendation?
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
have.
Okay. And the two of you have conferred with Ms. Brower this morning. And the court would note, Ms. Brower, maybe I'm mistaken, but there.
Okay, look, I don't mean to make fun of anything, but I have an idea for a bit here. The case of Ron Swanson versus Tammy Swanson is here to proceed.
Also,
Only people who watch Parks and Recs will know that.
Also, Artemis says pee on your local puddle chat like it's a jellyfish for $2. Paid $2 just to say that.
$2. Yeah, wow.
How
I mean,
dare you?
It's your money. Do what you will, but my God.
How dare you?
How dare.
An outstanding motion, a motion filed by defendant mother to modify custody.
Yep, there she is. Samantha Sewell.
There she. Oh, okay. In a car.
I don't know why, like, because everyone says appeared by audio, which I guess is something she had to, like, file specifically, but then she just turns on the camera anyways.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
But nobody, as far as I know, nobody comments on it. Everybody's just like, oh, yep, she has camera on now. That's fine.
Dude, she just appeared and didn't say a fucking word. That was kind of weird. Usually if can you hear me? Or yes, I'm Samantha, or you want to respond?
Yeah.
I don't know if that needs to be addressed in this recommendation, but in any event, the recommendation, Mr. X, there's Ms. Sewell. Good morning. The recommendation is that the front of the court recommendation, Mr. Pratt, dated August 13th, 2024, be adopted. Specifically, mother's parenting time shall be every other weekend, Friday at 4:30.
Wait, keep going. I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
School during the school year, during the summers, week on, week off, with the exchange at Sundays at 6 o'clock. The mother's parenting time with lunch shall be reasonable and liberal. The outstanding parenting time complaints filed with front of the court through July 8th be dismissed. It's also known that both parties have provided the court with essays, what they have learned for the High Conflict Solutions Workshop. The court appreciates both of you taking that program. Hopefully it was beneficial. I'm not, the court does not order.
So, because it could be a little hard to hear the judge because his camera's not, or his mic is not as clear as it should be. But he said that they have both had to take a high conflict resolution workshop, and they're both already finished it. So this is after they've been lectured on the whole high conflict thing. Is Ava good? We'll wait. But it is kind of funny to consider that this is after they've already had their lecture about being bad. Didn't even say sorry for being late. I'm never late. I arrive just when I need to. God, what's the full quote? Let me look it up. You are never late, nor are you early. You arrive precisely when you mean to. Death the Goat, get your goddamn AC fixed. I have somebody coming, but they won't be able to be here till tomorrow. So tonight, window partially open, and I'll probably go find like a little box fan later. Even my drink isn't cold
And we
anymore. Welcome back. Guys, just telling the people, the judge just said that both of them have already gone through the high conflict resolution courses.
Yeah, that's usually the only way you're gonna see two people this opposed in like family court. You're only ever gonna see them in court if every mediation attempt has failed. Like Texas has required mediation. California also has something similar to required mediation. Lots of states do. But if that fails, this is what happens.
Yeah.
For the completion of that class, if it's a waste of time.
How bad was it before the workshop?
Exactly.
Value in that class for both of you to make life easier for each of you. All right, so Ms. Sewell, do you understand the recommendation?
I do understand it. I understand what's wrote. I don't understand how we got here.
We're already starting with that.
Okay. Okay.
I understand what's on the paper. I don't understand why it's on the paper.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're already doing this? It's early. I just opened my monster. Come on.
We are 1 minute into the case. Not even 1 minute.
Okay, so you disagree with the recommendation?
Jesus.
Absolutely.
How we got there is we have an independent, experienced front of the court facilitator.
I personally feel like she's
interviewed your children. So your children are 16, 14, 13. This is not like a 6-year-old. So much more weight to be given on the thoughts and input of the children. I can guarantee you that, Ms. Sewell. So maybe you should ask yourself these questions.
I definitely like this.
Because obviously.
Because there's a lot of states do not consider the thoughts of the minor children, even if they're teenagers approaching the age of majority. They don't really care. Yeah. So I like Michigan that's like, no, specifically, if they are a teenager, they're approaching the age of 18, they have a they should absolutely have weight applied to what they want because they are little people at that point.
Yeah. Also, it's
kudos to Michigan for giving them a choice.
It also tells you a lot about the cases that have happened before this one, before we actually see it, with how the judge is already kind of lecturing her.
Oh yeah, they're already going into admonishment, and it's probably because this judge knows the kind of person and the kind of argumentative tactics that Samantha's going to imply. It's like, no. We've done this. This is the reason it was done. We interviewed your children, and we're going to actually take what they say seriously because they're people too.
That's another thing. The way he
is trying to get ahead of the bullshit.
That's another thing. The way he immediately brings up the children, and he's like, "I can assure you, we take what your children say into account very seriously." Like, okay, so the children said some wild shit
but what
about
did they
mom.
Say? Yeah, no, they had. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, there's a reason the judge led with the children and their wants.
Yeah.
Looks like you need another monster. Well, I just opened mine, so we'll see.
This is what the children want.
The children would always choose ice cream over broccoli, and that's what's happening right here. I serve my children broccoli. He choose.
Sorry. Wow. Yeah. What a way to immediately infantilize your children.
Yeah.
This is not. I mean, this. Hold on. So not completely better, but this is why the judge let off with that, because the judge is trying to impress upon the mother, hey, your children aren't fucking 6 anymore. This is not down to, oh, the difference between choosing ice cream or broccoli. No, they're older than that. They're more capable of nuanced decision making than that. And I'm telling you that he told you in no uncertain terms that this argument is going to work. It isn't going to work, and you made it anyway.
Yeah, you're still going for it. I was like, no, Your Honor, you don't understand. They just like Dad because he gives them broccoli. He gives them ice cream instead of broccoli.
He gives them Yeah, these kids actually like broccoli's a thing. They come out and said, we don't ask for ice cream, actually. I don't know what she's talking about.
Chooses to serve them ice cream. Children will always choose ice cream over broccoli. There are serious concerns within this case that have not been addressed. And unfortunately, it's so sickening and disturbing, this case, that the outcome of this recommendation is me dropping out. I don't wish to continue this anymore. My children.
Like, you get a choice to no longer participate in the family courts. You're here, Bits. I'm sorry, you're ours.
The consequence of me not getting my way is I don't want to be in court anymore.
Jen's great. We don't want you in court either. But you're still gonna be here, and we're still gonna have to deal with you. Like, come on.
Thank you, Baked Buddhist. Says the deflection is strong with this one.
Yeah, no, it was immediately, and here's the thing, the sickening things happening. Stop it. This is really a civil matter. It's not criminal yet, and I swear to God, I would love it for, like, I know it's unrealistic, but man or woman, the dad or the mom comes out with a unsubstantiated allegation of impropriety in terms of, like, SA and stuff like that. If you make that accusation, you have no proof, instant jail.
Yeah.
Instant jail, and you're charged with something as severe as what they would have been charged with. Oh, that's a felony? Good. This is a felony too.
Also, to let people know, Dad at the start saying, yes, I'm here, is literally all we're going to hear from him the entire case. He's not going to say a fucking word.
So he might not have a lawyer, but he obviously has watched something to let him know, hey, just let her dig her own hole. It's fine.
Yeah.
Watch the show.
Thank you, Nerdy Text and Accountant, to help the puddle from evaporating in the summer heat. I know how it feels to be without AC in the summer. Thank you. Wolfsbane, instant waterworks is cringe. The best part is she can't even cry. Like, she's just making crying sounds.
She can't cry at all. She's making the sounds for crying without actually crying.
And then Baracho says, this is a shower thoughts defense that she thought was fire.
Oh yeah, that's the issue with a lot of proceedings.
Have been failing educationally for years, and he's the one in charge of getting them to school, taking them to school. He's been charged with truancy charges. My son has dropped out of school. My children are depressed, suicidal, on medication, and all absence of their mother. But yes, continue the same path for them. Everybody agreed that something different needed to be done, and choosing the same sickening and despair life for them is enough for me to decide that continue on and do that. My son is now dropped out of school. There's no changing that. My daughter had a 1.3 grade average last year. I have went to court every single year fighting to know knowledge about my kids.
It's important to note that she's saying all of this stuff, but there was a guardian ad litem in the case who talked to the school. So she doesn't seem to understand that even if all of this is true, even if all of this is somehow true, which I don't believe it is, a guardian ad litem saw that and still said the kids are better off with Dad than they would be with you.
Yeah, because that's kind of my thing. I'm like, you're throwing a lot of accusations here where you should know, like, there was a person to look into all this. 1.3 grading average? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is pretty much all D's and F's. There's no way. I find it highly unlikely that that's even true. Your son dropping out of high school, maybe that's true, but, you know, even nowadays, high school dropouts isn't completely unheard of.
And
if the dude's 16,
I believe the son
well,
is,
there's some amount of autonomy there.
Well, one of them is 17. So one of them might even just be
17, yeah. 17, they're not even, yeah. I think Michigan, it's 17, is pretty much you're an adult.
Yeah. Like, one of them is 17. He might not even have a say in it.
That's like a D average with 1 C. Yeah, that's pretty bad. And the C is probably Jim. Okay.
Question, what is this? Because I just got here. I may not be as smart as someone who is autistic, but since the title says Lawtism, I'm sure this is about her. Also, autistic kids being... No, so we call it Lawtism because we are the Lawtist. We are the autistics about law.
Yeah, there's no other way to put it. Really. it's kind of the perfect term for it. We are autistic, and autism is law. At least one of autisms.
Yeah, but Lawtism is just us covering cases that we think are interesting. This is one I brought to Ava because I knew it would make Ava crash out at some point.
Of course it fucking... Of course. Yeah, well... Do you know the reason why I stopped practicing law? I'm fucking literally listed as retired, never to fucking resume.
See,
on the bar's freaking registry. Why? Because of this shit. Family law will destroy your soul.
I have, we'll have to think of a day to do it, because I have another one to mess with you with, but it's 2 hours long.
Oh, damn, that's a special one, yeah.
But that one might make you crash out, like, out of anger, because the mom in that one says some, like, heinous shit about her own kids, and it's like, what is wrong with you?
Oh, no, yeah, I've seen that a couple times where it's like, okay, we need to do something else. If she's saying that about her kid, look, before we're okay with every other weekend, now I think full custody is on the table now with what she just said about her own children.
Yeah. Thank you, Internet Zen Master. Mizu's AC is out. Kirsch's HVAC system is busted. She was miserable yesterday. Suddenly, I'm very grateful. WA's default state is 60s and drizzling. I would love 60s and drizzling.
I'm like, that just reminds me of the homeland.
It's 80 in here right now.
That's so gross. God, even with the window AC on?
Yeah. With just streaming and VTube Studio up, my CPU is currently at 73 degrees.
I mean...
Apparently my GPU's at 40, though. I don't know what's up with that.
Well, you're not using a lot on your GPU.
Fair.
Yeah, OBS uses monthly processor, especially Watch Together. You're using processor speed on that. VTube Studio also surprisingly uses quite a bit of processing power.
For some reason.
So yeah, that's why there's a... Yeah, I don't know why.
And thank you, Artemis. We are the night. We are the shadows. We are the law. We are the tism. We are the bat lautist.
I mean, yeah.
Thank you guys, though.
Fighting to be present for my kids. Fighting for my kids to attend birthday parties. Fighting for my kids to attend funerals. I've had to go to court to know my kids' education, to know their therapist. I've had to go to court to have you tell him that he had to keep them in school so he wouldn't take them out for acting classes. I've had to go to court for all these things and nothing has been done. So now my children, 13, 15, and 16 years old, are on medication, failing classes, depressed, suicidal, sexual activity, talking to men online, absolute disgust.
She's just throwing shit on the wall, my God. Sexual activity.
Talking to men online.
Like, there's not even like that's not even how someone would say those words. You just said the words sexual activity.
Yeah.
Not that they were doing it, that they were not doing it. You just said sexual activity. What does that mean?
Exactly.
Oh, and he won't do anything about it. I'm not allowed to be present. I'm pushed out of the way. So, of course, the kids want to choose whether they're not parented, not governed, and he's feeding them ice cream over broccoli. Absolutely, 100%. I agree with them. However, I don't choose to be a part of it anymore. I choose to not have the police called on me when I take away my son's Xbox. I choose to not have CPS called on me when I'm trying to get help for my daughter's suicide problems. I choose to not have false police reports called on me about stalking my ex. I'm choosing, if you guys don't choose better for my kids, I'm choosing to step aside. Flat out. I have 2 other children to.
So I don't think she realizes that this. She seems to think like this is something that makes her look so good because like, oh, I'm so put upon. But the thing is, any parent that says if it gets too hard, I'm going to abandon my children, just flat doesn't look good.
That's what she's arguing. Yeah, she's literally like, I'm just gonna abandon my children.
Yeah, she's like, it's just too hard, so I'm just gonna ditch them.
We're also saying there's apparently 2 other children she has.
Yeah.
That, like, dear God, can we look into them? Like, I'm concerned for every person under 18 that is in your view line. Like, holy crap, she's from another fucking language? I don't know. Yeah, she just mentioned she has 2 other kids. Like, here, guys.
Yeah.
I'll go back just a few seconds. We're gonna hear her mention 2 other kids. Watch.
Flat out, I have 2 other children to parent and raise and worry about.
See, so, like, she's literally like, okay, since you guys aren't giving me what I want to abandon my 3 kids to focus better on my 2 other kids and abusing them.
Yeah.
And allegedly abusing them. Sorry.
Allegedly.
Alleged.
There's also just with like I had it in my head. I think it poofed on me. I had it for a second there.
No, come back.
I'm trying to reach out and grab it. No, she's saying like all of this stuff, right? Like I'm tired of like CPS being called on me for like this with my kids. I'm tired of, police wellness checks on me because of this with my kids. But if you remember what she said earlier in the case, she said that her kids were having all of these problems and they had had 0 time with her. So how are you getting CPS called on you when your kids are with you if your kids haven't been with you at all the entire time?
The fact of the matter is you have, it looks like to me it's probably a 25-75, maybe 80-20 split in terms of custody. You get every other weekend during school days and then every other, like, it's not favorable to you. But what little time you have with your kids, there are all these problems. There's all these calls to the police and CPS and all this other shit. I'm sorry to say, but in my eyes, it looks like if we remove the one variable that all this is happening with what limited custody time you have, I think we're going to solve a lot of these problems.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem to understand that her argument is actually, more in favor of Mr. Atkinson than her.
Exactly.
I love the dead facial expression. Oh yeah, no, he's literally Ron Swanson in it. I love it.
Thank you, Internet Zen Master. Ted should get the other kids if she acts like this. No, the other kids are probably from like another father.
Yeah, it's probably from another. Oh, I mean, I just feel bad for every child who is remotely related to this woman.
Yeah, and then thank you, Baked Buddhist. How to say you're an overwhelmed, emotional, unstable mom without using those exact words.
I mean, yeah.
Miss Sue then raised what she described as the most disturbing aspect of the case, allegations that her 13-year-old daughter was exhibiting sexual behaviors, communicating with older men online, and posting inappropriate content, while a male roommate was living in Mr. Atkinson's basement. She stated that when she brought these concerns to the court, the referee raised concerns about potential inappropriate contact between siblings, but that Mr. Atkinson then told the children that their mother was accusing them of having an incestuous relationship, which she alleged turned the children against her. She described the pattern in which she raised legitimate safety concerns, the father weaponized those concerns by sharing them directly with the children, and the children then viewed their mother as the source of conflict rather than the person trying to protect them. This dynamic, if accurately described, constitutes a textbook example of reactive abuse and parental alienation operating simultaneously. Under MCL 722.23 sub J, the court must consider the willingness and ability of each parent to facilitate and encourage a close and continuing parent-child relationship between the child and the other parent. A parent who systematically shares court filings, allegations, and adult concerns with the children, turning the children into participants in the litigation rather than shielding them from it.
So I hope he's going to actually play the clip where they say that, because I've seen it in another like reaction video, the clip of it. But yeah, no, she directly says that the 13-year-old might be having an incestuous relationship with like the 16-year-old brother. Like, what?
Yeah.
And again, she's not with the kids.
Yeah, this one's weird because it's like, I understand this court rule, but at the same time, I'm sorry, I want to inform hey, your mom's accusing you guys of having sex.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. But according to these Michigan court rules, is saying that no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, look, this isn't good stuff, but everyone has a constitutional right to face their accuser and to know if they're being accused or not. Shielding them from this knowledge isn't helping anyone.
Especially when one of them is almost an adult.
Yeah, like, these are serious, like, seriously, no, I'm sorry. You need to know what your mom is accusing you of and why you're going through all this. Otherwise, you guys are in the dark, lost, confused, anxious, and all that shit. I don't agree with this rule.
Yeah.
Is engaging in conduct that
really quick before we continue. Baracho, thank you. You just don't get it. It takes a lot of effort to abuse and neglect children. Tragic backstories don't grow on trees.
Yeah.
And then Artemis says this is now the anime Yasuga no Sora.
Yeah, it's actually just Game of Thrones.
directly undermines the other parent's relationship with the children. However, proving this pattern requires detailed documentation, and when the accused parent controls the children's daily environment, therapeutic relationships, and access to information, the burden on the excluded parent becomes extraordinarily difficult to meet without legal representation.
This man, hold on, there's another one thing. I started this, I started all these parenting time complaints, and up until this point...
Who would have guessed you started it?
She switched accents. Did you hear that? She went fucking off. She went full on Florida panhandler.
I did.
And I'm I
also like how she goes, I started all these complaints. Yeah, hun, we kind of knew that.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we kind of could have guessed that one.
We definitely know that one.
Because he was allowing the kids to move freely between homes, it was working out fantastically great until he tried to strong arm me into paying him some money. Hold on one second. He had moved a man into the basement with my 12-year-old daughter, lied to me about it, lied to the courts about it, wouldn't let CPS in. And my daughter is expressing sexual habits and behaviors, and nobody will investigate it, and nobody hears me. Would you be comfortable with your daughter expressing sexual pornography and doing things online, knowing that there is a man living down in the basement and she's telling people that she's dating a 40-year-old man? Would you feel?
Do you have evidence of any of this?
She absolutely
because
does not.
This sound, look, this honestly sounds, this is something that a lot of mothers with BPD, usually younger mothers, end up falling into with their daughters, especially as the daughters enter the teenage years. I'm not even joking. They get zealous and weird and fucking, oh, it's what I would have done at that age, so you must be doing it. This is not helping your case at all. Does it show, this is hitting all the markers of, can we get a court evaluated mental exam maybe? Because
this woman's fucking nutter butters.
It's not a man, it's a Reddit mod. It's Digit code. Yeah, this is borderline personality. Yeah, no, it's hidden so many markers of that. Obviously, I'm not a psychologist. I cannot use the DSM-5 to diagnose, but I'm seeing at least 3-4 BPD traits here, like big ones.
It's pretty bad.
Well, would you feel comfortable with that?
What's up, Gabo?
This is who I'm leaving my children with.
First of all, Ms. Sewell, have you reviewed I think Mr.
Absolutely fucking made this pause. Well, first of all, before we do any of that, have you read why we're here?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I gotta look, that judge has some serious decorum because I probably would have reacted much more poorly to being interrupted, fucking all these out. Like, I've seen judges pretty much shut down hardcore. He kind of just listened and then just moved on, and that was honestly perfect.
Yeah. You know why we're here today, ma'am?
In the court file, there's University of Michigan Psychiatric Emergency Department reports.
I have, and
okay.
can I explain something to you?
No.
Stated June 6th, whether your daughter was taken to the hospital, she claims that there's ongoing. This is her words.
Yes. Can I explain something to you?
Her mother.
Yes. Can I explain something?
Oh man. Sorry, I paused myself so I could glow a little bit because, like,
it's pretty bad.
It's not even that she's interrupting, it's that tone. That tone she is using is really grating against my ears. My condolences to anyone who has that type of mother like this woman. Thank you so much for the PLN 25. I'm not sure what PLN is, but thank you very much. And could you please give me could someone give me a phonetics spell? It's Elfsia? Yeah, I think that's Elfsia. I really want to be able to pronounce the name right, and I don't know if I am. And thank you, Big Buddhas, for the 5. Holy crap, they're just coming in now. My mom did that to me. She was wild in her younger years and forced me to be a tomboy as a cope. Yeah, no, that's extremely, I can't tell you how many times where it was like, oh no, there's a daughter involved, the mom's a little bit crazy, and daughter happens to be, 12 to 15 years old is usually when it's like the worst, and usually when it's the most splitting. There's been many cases where I've had to be like, look, I'm sorry, judge, we cannot do, there's something, it depends on the state that you're in, but there's something called reintroduction that some states will try where it's like, okay, you have a minor child and a parent that are more or less estranged for all intents and purposes. Minor child's trying to run away, trying not to, skipping custody and stuff like that. It ends up being a problem. And so what ends up happening, especially like in areas like California, that I really don't like, is they try something called reintroduction, where they basically treat the kid and the mom like an animal and reintroduce them like slowly through different therapy things. Hopefully they can get along. It's like, no, at that point, if the relationship is that broken, you need to move the kid out away from the mom, because the mom's going to do far more damage, and you forcing the kid to stay with the mom is like exacerbating that greatly.
Really quick, chat, Twitch is just emotes. So if somebody sends emotes on Twitch, it sends the actual name for the emote. It doesn't show the emote in chat. Because it's how the chats are connected.
Yeah, the daughter starts to enter puberty, and the mother gets jealous of that. It's sometimes so bad where it's like not even like the girl's not even really entering puberty. Really, she's just growing up normally, and like the mom's already fucking all over it, fucking freaking out about it. I've had cases where the mom literally gets puberty blockers to stop the daughter from entering puberty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can get really bad.
No, you don't need. Want to make sure you saw these.
I did.
Well,
I did, absolutely. And it made me bawl. It's so sickening because here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I can tell you're really tore up about it. Here's the thing. I was bawling. It was so horrible. Here's the thing.
Let me go back just a bit, because I want you to actually watch this from start to finish really quick.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was good. I wish I had the thing when I could... oh man, you know what? I'll get that installed at some point, but I want the thing where you can zoom in on videos, because I want to zoom in on her video, bring it all the way up, because holy guys, this reaction and the Academy Award goes to...
Also, here, let it play out really quick before we pause it for the next time, because trust me, this part cracked me up.
Absolutely, and it made me bawl. It's so sickening because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Your Honor. Mr. Atkinson, I was
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing,
Here's the thing.
Mr. Atkinson, what just happened?
You can see that she's trying to come up with her argument on the spot.
I just watched Dory from Finding Nemo in real life. Like, I swear to God, I just watched whatever happens in Dory's brain where she just forgets. We just watched it happen. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Your Honor.
She's
Mr.
trying to...
Atkinson,
She's trying to come up with an argument on the spot, and she has no idea, like, where to go with it.
Yeah, no, it is... Oh, God.
Explaining my concerns of what I was finding on her phone and explaining what I have known my son to do and explaining what we had just came across. The referee wanted to say that the kids were not allowed around each other and was concerned about incest relationships because what I was finding on Isabel's phone while she was in Mr. Atkinson's home. So I explained this to the court. The referee was like, whoa, something's going on. You know, the kids aren't allowed around each other.
So here's a kind of another major issue, is the mom directly says the kid's name. Typically, with these court cases, with minors, the court themselves will focus on John Doe, Jane Doe, the minor child.
Or they'll just do, first and last name initials. So it'd be like CJ, right?
Yeah.
Or no, it'd actually CA. You know, for Carl Atkinson, right? Or Isabel, you know, it'd be IA. You know, if they will not... Yeah, you just doxed your own daughter in the court on video, and that...
While accusing her of incest.
While accusing her of incest.
Because you are horrendous mother.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you come out with these accusations in court, yes, the referee is absolutely going to be like, what the fuck, and have everybody separate while they figure out and actually investigate. That doesn't mean that they found anything. That just means that they're doing their job and reacting properly to the accusation. But it could land you in hotter waters if they find nothing, which, I'm sorry to say, it seems like they didn't find anything.
Yeah. That's where she's missing this at. Is I made an accusation and they did an investigation. Okay, well, you're not saying they found anything.
I made an investigation and they separated the children. Yeah, because you made an accusation.
A really bad one, too.
Works. This is, a really bad one that, yes, we're going to take seriously. But if we look into it and find nothing, fuck you for doing that. And the kids can see each other again, which obviously they can. So your argument here falls on its face before it even gets off the ground.
Thank you, Internet Zen. Ava, I have to ask, the puberty blocker case, was the mom pushing her daughter to be a guy, or was it just to delay puberty? Because if the latter, what the fuck?
it was just to delay puberty because they didn't want them dating guys and getting sexual and all the shit.
Ew.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with it. Had nothing. Now I have seen cases like that where and oddly enough, I would say that these cases have actually existed since like the 60s. It's really fucking weird. But there are instances where the mom's like, you're a boy and I really wanted a girl. And I'm going to do everything I can to make you a girl.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. These cases, I helped take care of a 75-year-old with dementia who told me about what his mom used to do. Used to call him Jackie, dress him up in dresses and shit like that. And again, this had to happen during like the 50s or 60s, right? Fucking long ass time ago. But it was still happening, and I think that is something to look into far more than, people deciding for themselves after the age of 18, they want to transition or whatever. Okay, that's fine. But we need to look at these parents who've been pulling this shit for fucking decades, long before trans was ever like a normal or mainstream thing.
Yeah.
This has been happening, and I think that's a problem, and it hasn't been addressed.
And thank you, Nerdy Text and Accountant, for the 100 bits. He says, I'm sorry, Ava, but Mizu needs to be a bit bigger today. Also, WTF is wrong with this mother.
Okay.
She's just mad that she is
Mizu needs to be
losing
bigger.
her chitlins. So instead of just accepting that she's a shitty mother and she needs to do better, she's just going to throw them under the bus and say the worst things about them just to try and get them away from dad.
I've made Mizu bigger, and I've made myself slightly shorter to make you happy. Oh, there is a Guilty Gear plotline, and they retconned that because makes trans ideology look bad as it already is. Well, I mean, forced trans ideology because you wanted a daughter instead of a son is fucking weird, and it predates, the modern trans ideology. It's something that needs to be studied, looked into, like psychologically. There needs to be papers on it because it was remarkably more common than it should have been. And it was happening during the 50s and 60s. Again, unheard of during that time, but there was these moms doing weird-ass shit to their children because they wanted a boy instead of a girl or vice versa.
Yeah.
Mr. Atkinson went home.
Nerdy Text and Accountant says, I meant the balloons.
Sparky's Tech Corner, thank you for the 2. Sounds like Mandark from Dexter Labs. I remember that episode, and yes, it's similar to that.
True.
It's done by the mother mostly, right? Yes, yeah. I can't think of a single case in which that was done by the father. Maybe there's some out there, but no, every case I've ever read up on, heard about through firsthand or whatever, no, it's always been the mother forcing the gender they wanted on their offspring. Like it's the mother doing that. I've never seen the father do that.
Yeah.
And told Issa and London that I was accusing them of having an ancestral relationship and blamed the entire thing on me. So she absolutely was.
An ancestral, I know what she meant, but just an ancestral relationship just sounds way more funny.
I also like that she's saying...
You had sex with your ancestors. What?
I also like that she's saying, he blamed me for that. It's like, okay... Maybe
well, yeah, because you made the accusation.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean he blamed you? You said that you made the accusation. Are you...
Was it puberty block or mom charged with anything? Maybe, but I was not. I was on the civil side and doing family law. If they decided to pursue charges when all that came out, that's really... I'd have to ask and follow up on the criminal side of that case, which I was not involved with.
Yeah.
Was so mad at me, and I think I provided text messages to the court where she was saying my mom's so weird, she thinks I'm having sex with my brother, and she thinks I'm having sex with my dad's roommate. But these are the things that I'm finding on her phone, and I'm providing them to the court. I'm not having conversations with my daughter about what I'm thinking. I'm having conversations with Aaron Atkinson, trying to get to the bottom of it, and then he's going and telling the exact... He is showing her even these classes.
So I'm not sure she understands that even if the
I don't even know where she knows she is.
Yeah. Because the thing is, even if the court rule is followed, what's going to happen here is the judge would admonish dad and be like, look, you don't need to be telling the kids what mom is saying. And then he would immediately look at mom and he'd be like, you are a fucking psycho for accusing your children of having an incestuous relationship with zero evidence just to get one over on your husband. Or ex-husband.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like, this is a rule. It's not going to throw out the case or anything. It's a court rule violation. It's admonishment depending on the severity of the break. Maybe you're held in contempt or something. But again, you'd have to do something pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
This is hey, you can't do that. And then immediately the judge is going to look to the mom and follow up because those accusations are fucking crazy.
Yeah. He shouldn't be telling the kids. You shouldn't be saying that shit to start with.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she's like, well, he's
showing them
alienating me from the children. It's like, no, you're alienating yourself from the children.
No, you're doing that.
By accusing them of
this is your
bizarre bullshit.
Is it dead? So here, he's right there in the lower left.
Yeah, he's not going to say anything the whole time because I feel like
he's either... God, he took an animal before this and just like, I'm just gonna be along for the ride, honestly.
I believe he's gotten advice from a lawyer or advice from somebody who was just like,
someone who knows is like, dude,
she's nutter butters. Just let her talk.
Let her talk. Yeah, just let her talk. She will do everything you need to and more.
Don't respond to her allegations. Just let her rant. Trust me.
So glad I had never the type of BS with my ex. Yeah. But yeah, even if dad should stop sharing, it's like, but why the heck are you accusing your kids of that? What are you gonna do if you have custody, not let your kids talk without you in the room? Well, that's kind of a big thing, right? And I imagine if she was awarded full custody from that, all of a sudden she'd have no problem with her 13-year-old and 16-year-old hanging out together.
Oh yeah, don't worry, they're perfect now. I fixed them.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's just a strategy to try and get them away from dad. That's all it is.
Don't interrupt your enemy when they are destroying themselves. Absolutely. Words to live by, especially if you're practicing law.
Yeah.
Showing them the paperwork and putting it in their faces, absolutely causing problems. I've came to the courts every single year about things that...
However, I will clarify, if I was dad's lawyer during this, there is a point where I likely would stop her. For the specific reason, I'd be like, Judge, she shouldn't be saying this about the children on like an open Zoom court hearing. Like this could...
Yeah, that's true.
This could get back to the children. This could get back to their friends. Like she shouldn't be doing this on an open Zoom court hearing. I think like if he had a lawyer, the lawyer would likely do that.
I think he hasn't even been advised. He just knows her well enough to know that she will dig herself a hole.
Yeah.
Like, that's the face of someone who has dealt with this for a while and has pretty much mastered the art of dealing with it.
Yeah. Well, because if this was like the first time he was having to deal with this, he wouldn't be able to hold it in as much as he is now. This is definitely somebody that is aware that this was going to happen.
He's like, oh, my ex making wild accusations must be a day that ends in Y.
Exactly.
I'm bad mouth. I'm talked about. Of course the kids view me like this. This is 100% parental alienation, and the courts have enabled the abuse of me, the control of me, and I'm done. If you guys cannot see that, why would I be fighting for my kids to abuse them? All I want for them to do is do better in school. Hold him accountable to that court order. It's a court order for a reason. You're not allowed to badmouth me every chance you get. My kids don't need to grow up in a toxic environment like that. I love them so much and only want the best for them. So yeah, they hate me for making them clean their rooms. They hate me for grounding them, taking away their cell phone. I took away my daughter's cell phone because of the things that she was posting on TikTok and the boys that she was talking to. He turned around and bought her a new phone. After all this, I can't.
So here's the thing, right? Is even if this was true, what you need on the phone is like more parental controls. A lot of parents these days do not feel comfortable taking the phone away because they feel like the children need to be able to stay in contact with them. Because that's kind of the world we live in.
Here's the issue, right? she probably doesn't have the authority as a parent to take her daughter's phone.
Yeah.
You have limited custody every other weekend and shit like that. You're taking the only method of communication, the main parent who has all the decision-making power, you're taking that line of communication away. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You're admitting to doing something you're probably not allowed to do. I guarantee it.
And again, like I said, a lot of parents want their kids to still have the phone. They might get stricter with them. They might start doing checks on it. They might put stricter parental controls. Typically these days, parents won't take the phone away, though, because they feel like they need the line of communication. And you are actively trying to sever that line of communication.
Samantha would take the phone away. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Samantha's like, no, look, I'm here. She knows that you're not going to call her. You're not going to text her. But what you are going to do is when you're around her is you're not going to have that phone.
Yeah.
So the sudden innate need to be in touch with your kids can be perverted and used as a sword against the other parent.
Exactly, yeah.
There's no disciplining the kids. There's no wanting better for them. I am merely nothing more than a babysitter. So I choose to not do it. I can't.
Technically, yes, you are nothing more than a babysitter right now because you have basically lost all custody. I know that's not what you want to hear, but that's kind of where you're at, and it's kind of your fault that you're there. Well, it's not kind of your fault. It's definitely your fault that you're there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zen Master. Things I'm finding on her phone. I might be the bloody lich at this point, and everyone having smartphones came later, but teens are going to be teens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like it. Kind of how it is.
I cannot live and I cannot be exposed to the police knocking on my door again, to the CPS, to the false CPS call. I've been dealing with this for far too long, far too long. And this is exactly what he wanted. So congratulations, Aaron, you've won. Congratulations. This is absolutely what you've wanted. I hope you're happy with the results.
I've heard a couple lawyers say this before, but typically you don't want to say anything like that, because that kind of tells the court that you're viewing this as sort of like a game between you and the spouse, and not a genuine concern over, what's happening with your children. Like, oh, he's won, Your Honor. He's won. I give up. He's won. No. Not how this is. Like, you're fighting for custody of your children. Fucking act like it. Up, Ava.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. You got really quiet. Why is my
just preaching to the choir?
There.
Is it not working?
To be honest with you, I feel so bad for my kids, but I feel so bad for my kids' future that they have to live like this. 100%. The kid's therapist is his therapist. Can you imagine what my kids would say if my kids attended my therapist and all they listened to is negative lies that I said about my ex?
That's not how therapy works. I don't know why you think this is the thing. It's like,
do you go to therapy to lie about your ex?
Well, even if you went to therapy to lie about your ex, it's like the therapist is not talking with the kids about the same thing they're talking about with your ex.
Daytime, no. That's a breach of, confidentiality and stuff. Come on.
Yeah, they can't really do it to either of them. For one, it's not healthy for the kids, but for two, you're not allowed to do that to your clients. I don't know where she's got this idea that they're going to Dad's therapist to talk shit about her and Dad. Shut up, woman. And this whole thing is you can see why the court was like, yeah, no, you don't have the kids now. We're not doing that game. And me and Ava have talked about this before, but it is ridiculously hard to convince the court to take children away from a mom.
It's so hard. It's so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Hey, Cerberus, this sounds kind of familiar from the past case y'all covered. Yeah, sadly, it's not a rare occurrence in family law for these types of accusations to come out, usually leveled by the mother.
Yeah. It does seem like a very mom-coded thing to do for some reason.
Because it's worked. And, I mean, look, if it didn't work, they wouldn't try it because they would see that it doesn't work. But it works just enough. It's worth rolling the dice.
Fair enough, yeah.
The actor, the one that literally gets paid to make people believe his story.
Ms. Sewell, the children need their mother, so I hope you keep an open
and they
mind.
also
They
need
their
a happy mother and one.
This judge.
This is the judge trying to throw you a bone despite the fact you're an absolute nutter butter, and you just immediately threw it back in his face before he could finish speaking.
Not even that, but he's handling his responses so well, so measured. This is a veteran of the craft, and like I just, it's kind of funny to watch him handle her like the 5-year-old that she is.
Yeah.
Mother and one mother that's not being constantly controlled and abused and enabled by the court system to continue the abuse. I cannot handle it anymore. I have hit a peak. I've hit a moment. I cannot.
I've hit a moment. Sparky Stick, thank you for the 2. I'm so glad me and my wife are not like this. Yeah, no, like, use this, just evaluate your own relationships. As long as it doesn't look like this, you're probably doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I cannot. The summer goes so perfect and so well and it's so harmonious. And when the kids were moving freely from home to home, it was so good. It was so happy in that time. It was so good. But money is a root of all evil, so I'm sorry I didn't have the money at the time.
What?
Yeah, nobody
Take a
knows.
deep breath, Ms. Sewell. First of all, make sure you're listed. You should be involved in school activities, going to parent-teach conferences. Make sure that you're listed as a contact at school. Absolutely, you're the parent.
I have had to go to court and fight for every single thing of that, and I do. I attend everything that I am aware of, that I can. I attend.
He was talking to Atkinson, not you.
Exactly.
What the God.
I do everything that I'm supposed to. I show up to therapy. I do everything that I'm supposed to do.
I show up to therapy.
More.
That's a great mindset.
I adopted my life in 2020 as if he was standing right next to me. And you can ask any about that. I said, I will live my life as if Aaron Atkinson is standing next to me because that's how it feels. Every move I make, I have to make sure that he's okay with it, how he can.
I'm sorry. Just every move I make, every step I take, as she just starts singing the song.
It'd be better than what she's doing now.
I know. He'll be watching me. Oh, can't you see? No, like, what the fuck?
She's
spin it and how he can use it against me and use it against me in court. And that's how I have become this person that I am so proud of today. The fact that you are sitting here and saying my kids don't deserve to have their mother. Why is it okay for this man to have truancy charges? Why is it okay for him to not push school on the kids? Why is it okay for him to be living in a bed bug infested house?
That's a new one. Bed bug infested. That's the first time I'm hearing of that.
Yeah, I can only assume that they don't have any other cases for the rest of the day. So the judge is just like, fuck it. Let's see where this goes.
No, he's just like, oh, I'm kind of interested.
Let's see.
Let's get a peek behind the curtain of insanity.
Almost foreclosed on it.
I don't have anything else going on today.
Why are you okay with it?
All right, Ms. Sewell, the court fully understands your position. Keep in tabs. If in fact the children are missing at school, bring it to the court's attention. The court will make changes.
You have all the paperwork right now. You have all the paperwork right now. I have. That's a joke you telling me that. I brought all text messages, school paperwork. I have absolutely brought everything. The 37 absences. I brought that, Your Honor.
Screen's waiting.
Mr. Atkinson, do you understand the recommendation this morning?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any objection to the court adopting the recommendation?
No, I do not.
The court's going to add a couple things. This recommendation, if you could, please, Ms. Brower. Number one is that the children shall, all three children shall be involved in counseling, and they shall not be your counselor or therapist, Mr. Atkinson. Not someone that you are seeing. Just understand, all three children shall be enrolled in counseling. They've all three got problems. So all three should be enrolled in counseling, and they should not be your therapist or counselor. And finally, if the children miss school because of illness, you need to take them to the doctor that day. No unexcused absences. So if they're you take them home.
Schedules the appointment during school.
Please do not interrupt. Mr. Atkinson, if the children are sick, they don't go to school, you need to take them to a doctor that day. Understood?
Understood.
And Ms. Sewell, please keep tabs on the records. If in fact they're missing school, the court's we'll bring them back into court, and the court wants answers as to why they're not in school.
This is a joke. I've been doing this for years, Your Honor. Every single year I provide the school record. Every single year. So you're telling me to do exactly what you told me last year, which was the thing that you exactly told me the year before, which is the exact thing that you told me the year before. You've told me this every single year.
And have you brought it in?
Every single year you've told me this. I've been bringing this to you every single year. Every single year, Your Honor.
Ma'am, this is the first time I've seen your case.
Well, we've got 3 files here, and there's been a lot of activity, but bring them timely. Ms. Sewell,
I do, Your Honor. It has 30 days to, you have 30 days to file the complaint. I do, Your Honor. I do. I file everything on time. I do bring it to you. I do. So you're telling me the exact same thing as you did a year ago. So what is it going to be? One more child is going to drop out? Are we going to wait till one more child gets to drop out?
Ma'am, if the judge is telling you the same shit every single time you're in court, has it ever occurred to you that maybe you're not doing it correctly and you should ask somebody?
What I love,
Your Honor, you tell me the same thing every single time.
She's not capable of acquiring this information, this school record information. She only has her kids every other weekend during the school year. Weekend. Not weekday. Okay? Yeah. She is not a parent that has access to that information. So my question is, how is she even getting this information?
Yeah. That's a question.
You know?
And the thing
because schools don't fuck around.
Again, there's a guardian
schools
ad
do
litem.
Not fuck around. If Atkinson is listed as the only decision-making parent, which is obviously backed by the court, they're not going to give Samantha shit.
Yeah.
She could call, she could make a stink. They're not going to give them anything because they take that kind of shit seriously.
And again, like, there's a guardian ad litem in this case. If they genuinely were doing that, I'm pretty sure they would have said something by now.
But yeah.
Like, you can't... her only argument really has to be is basically everybody is corrupt. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Judge is corrupt, guardian ad litem's corrupt, the school is corrupt, everybody's corrupt and lying. She's cheating with the principal. That's where the other 2 kids are from.
Because this could have been prevented. This absolutely could have been prevented.
Court's attention.
This absolutely could have been prevented.
I'm not going to talk over you, try to talk above you, Ms. Sewell. So court will adopt the recommendation. I will conclude this review. Do bring it to the court's attention, please. I will look at.
Also, yes, chat, she does have septum ring. You can see it when she gets close to the camera sometimes.
Of course she does.
Septum ring theory proven
it does
once
not
again.
Surprise me.
At it. So please bring it to the court's attention, and the court's going to amend the recommendation with those.
Your Honor, can I ask something else?
Sure, go ahead.
Somebody in chat asked earlier why the judge was letting her go on, and this is another example of it. I think the judge is just kind of curious at this point. He's like...
The judge is chill. You know, he's had a good morning, he had a good night's sleep, he has the patience for this.
Yeah.
That's really all that it is. It's like, you're looking at a judge with an impressive amount of patience, because I know I wouldn't have this amount of patience.
Yeah. And, like, as much as... It's more noticeable with judges like Judge Flesher, who actually verbally state when he's interested in something. But some judges just get curious about, like, kind of nosy Nellies, because this is, like, the only gossip they really get, because it's such a busy job. And it's like, you know what? Let's learn some of the town gossip while we're here. Go on, tell me. Tell me more about your story. I'm all ears. Yeah, like Hato says, the judge is just enjoying the tea. And thank you, Wolfsbane. Her glasses are hiding her crazy eyes. Not doing a very good job.
So we have a thing on our court order that we are not supposed to talk about each other on social media. However, I'm not being quiet about what's being done to me at court anymore. And since the court order has never been filed.
God damn it.
You're gonna love this next part.
I mean, I'm already, so the court has told me to do this. I'm not gonna do that. And here's why. Okay, well, you know, what are you, do you want to spend time in a jail cell? Because that's where you're heading. You're heading directly for contempt. You cannot tell the court to its face you are planning on violating its orders.
Yeah. Like, good luck with that.
Followed before, and there are no consequences. So if I start speaking out about what's being done in the care that Mr. Atkinson, and I have already interviewed with the podcast company that wants to hear my story about what's been happening with Friend of the Court, CPS, and how I've been.
Oh no. So you're not just stating intent that you're not full. You're actually confessing that you have never followed this court order. If you will have interviews and shit lined up with podcasts and stuff.
People have tried to find this podcast, by the way.
Please tell me he should thrown in 10. But I doubt there was any podcast.
Yeah, people think she was either lying or it's so small that nobody can find it because nobody's been able to locate it.
It was never aired.
Yeah.
It was just so bad it was never aired.
Like, nobody's been able to actually locate it yet. I would not change
topics to that of all things. I would have proof that I'm complying, certified receipts, triplicate copies, personal witnesses, notarization. Yeah, but you're a reasonable person. Samantha's fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Treated and injustice, and the fact that you're still allowing this behavior and you're giving custody to him. Am I allowed to speak about it, or are you putting a no speak order on me? Am I allowed to tell my story, or is this allowed to be aired?
If you're not sure about following court orders, then you should consult an attorney, because yes, you violate court orders, people can be held in contempt. With that,
okay, but why is he allowed to be held? Why is he allowed to disobey the court order, but he is not allowed to be held? He never gets held in contempt. So why is it that I only am allowed to be held in contempt, but he does not have to be held in contempt? You just dismissed about 20
parties are subject to the contempt powers of this court and violate court orders. With that,
but you're not, because you just dismissed all my court orders that he violated. So are you going to choose to violate me and not him once again?
I'm just saying, I
want to speak out. I want this podcast to be aired. I very much want my voice to be heard. I think that other people can benefit from hearing my story about the injustice that's been being caused to me. I want to speak out about my story, and I want to make sure that I'm not being contempt of court again, because I'm the only one that gets held in contempt of court. So I'm asking you to lift that ban on me being able to speak and me being able to speak about my story.
This face she makes when she finishes saying that kills me.
Yeah.
Like,
what is that face? Thank you, Bandog, for being a thing for 9 months. Is there any way for her to get negative custody?
Thank you, Internet Zen. Podcast company. Lady should have tried Candace Owens. The woman sounds like that type of crazy. And yes, lip filler. She's definitely had lip work.
She is related to the DoorDash girl. I mean, with that face, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Request is denied.
Okay, I will take my chances.
Okay, that will conclude this hearing.
I will take, dude, just hold her in contempt of this fight. What do you mean, I will take my chances? Get the fuck out! Get out of my courtroom! Get into a jail cell! A fucking max sentence.
Thank you, Ms.
30
Brown.
days.
Your Honor, that new recommendation will be in your queue in just a moment.
The court adopted the friend of the court's recommendation with two significant additions.
Of course they did.
First, the judge ordered that all 3 children be enrolled in counseling, and specifically that the counselor could not be someone Mr. Atkinson was seeing, addressing Miss Sue's concern that the children's current therapist was also the father's therapist.
Honestly, that's the judge throwing the mom a bone. There's no reason professionally that the counselor can't be, the father's counselor.
Yeah.
There's a much bigger difference when it comes to doctor-patient confidentiality and how they respect HIPAA and stuff like that. They take it extremely seriously, and I would trust that therapist enough to, like, okay, yeah, you do therapy to the dad, you can do therapy to the kids. I'm not worried about that. So that was a bone that was thrown just to shut the mom up, really.
Basically.
Second, the judge ordered that if any child missed school due to illness, Mr. Atkinson must take that child to the doctor the same day, effectively requiring medical documentation for every absence to eliminate the possibility of unexcused absences continuing unchecked. The judge told Miss Sue to continue monitoring school records and to bring any attendance issues back to the court's attention promptly. Miss Sue's final request, to be released from a court order prohibiting the parties from discussing each other on social media so that she could participate in a podcast about her experience, was denied. The judge told her that court orders are enforceable through contempt and that if she was unsure about violating the order, she should consult an attorney. Miss Sue responded by saying she would take her chances. This case represents one of the most emotionally devastating scenarios in family court.
But yeah, so a lot of people in court don't seem to understand this. You can't really ask a judge if something you're planning on doing is going to violate the order. Because that's technically them giving you legal advice. Which they cannot do.
Yeah. Which is why he responded with, you have to read the court order.
You have to read the court order and ask a lawyer if you're confused.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the advice he can give.
Is she reckless or crazy? Both.
Yeah, both is good.
A mother who believes the system has failed her children and has reached the point of contemplating stepping away entirely. Miss Sue stated on the record that she was choosing to stop fighting,
which is horrendous, by the way. Looks horrible for you in court. And yeah, it likely is an AI narrator. It's kind of whatever. This is the only place I could find like the full case. Everybody just kept doing snippets of it. But
yeah,
that's really all for this case. But Ava passed me 2 more.
Yeah, we can watch one of them.
Which would you suggest?
Let me see here.
I'm kind of partial to the court one over the body cam one.
Yeah, no, the body cam one I think is just gonna be sad.
Fair.
I mean, really. But, no, yeah, let's do the court one. Because that, just Jesus Christ, the title. Lam secretly puts newborn up for adoption behind father's back.
Why did it skip
yes,
ahead?
chat, you all heard that correctly.
Judge, there's a few moving pieces today, and I'll do my best to kind of summarize the reasons for which we are here. There was a previous order entered by the Chancery Court on February 5th, 2026, setting some temporary support. At that time, Mr. Thomas was represented by Jacob Mathis, and Mr. Black...
I must say, by the way, I unironically kind of hate these sort of courtrooms where they have so many, like, level podiums just all over the place.
It's so fucking classic courtroom, and yeah, I'm not a fan of it either.
It looks ridiculous when
Although
you
I
look
will
at
say,
it.
because how many courtrooms look like this, I know exactly what goes where.
Yeah. It just throws me off every time I see it.
This is the classic setup. Yeah, no, it's fucking weird.
Represented Mrs. Thomas. A motion to set support.
In fact, you know what?
Temporary.
I'm gonna do this. Okay, so we have attorney's podium, counsel's podium, however you want to call it. This right here is the stenographer. The court clerk is right over here to the right of the judge. Obviously, judge here. This they have two sides, so this might be plaintiffs, witnesses, and I don't know what these guys would be. Probably extra. You know what? This is probably from witness.
Support both.
Expert. Sorry, this is probably for expert witness. With the computer and everything right there. And then that's just a normal witness stand over there.
Oh yeah, you can't see the mouse because Ava's showing it on her side.
Oh my god, damn it!
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. It's anyway. Yeah, we're just gonna continue because that was embarrassing.
Spousal and child support was filed by Mrs. Thomas, and that notice was sent to counsel at the time for Mr. Thomas. At some point in between the filing of that motion and the hearing for that motion, there was a breakdown in communication between Mr. Thomas and his previous counsel. Mr. Mathis had filed a motion withdrawal that was set for that same day as the temporary support hearing. Mr. Thomas, I believe if the court were to take some testimony today, would state that he didn't have notice that the temporary support hearing were set for that day, and consequently he did not appear at that hearing, Judge. His attorney at the time was allowed to withdraw, and then the court proceeded with setting some temporary support, and I believe the court set temporary support in the amount of $1,500 per month.
And that was a different judge than me.
It was Judge Wallace, Your Honor, I believe. And I wasn't here for that.
It's always
hearing.
funny to see people getting passed between different judges all the time. The judge is like, yeah, no, that wasn't my order, but...
Yeah, that'll happen. Sumer also, Frozen Maximus, says, I mean, at least in that setting, nobody can jump the judge. It was actually this exact podium setup that somebody jumped, that famous person jumping over the first desk and the second desk to get at the judge. It was actually this exact setup.
Yeah.
No, so that is
that guy launched himself. I don't think people
he used that front desk as like a springboard to spring himself over to the judge's desk. That was classic courtroom setup, and it did not matter for that man.
Like, I don't think a lot of people realize, because it's hard to see, because that clip, the camera for some reason is sort of behind the judge where you see him jumping, and it's also tilted up a little bit, so you don't really get to see the stenographer's desk in front. Yeah, but that guy literally jumped like a solid 8 foot over 2 desks to get at the judge. It was ridiculous. He went Magic Jordan on it. He literally have court fucking slam dunk bullshit from the classic Nintendo basketball games. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay. What Swiss should we say, Tap? Look at how Mizu's checking you out, Chad. They're doing a side eye. But in that case, the guy had bought a parkour DLC. Where there's a will, there's a way. No, exactly. I kind of like the old Bailey's court too. Yeah, I was going for the Olympic. Dude, I swear, it's one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen in court. Just gravity, that's optional. I'm going to ignore gravity long enough to get over this task. I have gotten Newton's it to drop a whole 2 degrees. More like Newton's a fucking nerd. Nice. So it's 78 now? 77. Oh, shit. Also, I went to grab my package because my package just got here. Oh, there you go.
For that hearing either. And ultimately, so the first motion I filed is a motion to reduce or set aside the temporary support order. And that's just, I don't believe the court that day. I can't speak to what the court did or did not hear. I wasn't there. But based on my understanding, the court set that support without inquiring into my client's ability to pay. And that's all I'm asking the court. This was I believe a 17-month marriage before the parties separated. There was one child alleged, born during the marriage, presumed to be the father's. The father disputes, and we're going to get into the DNA issues here in a moment. There's one child born at the time that hearing took place, and another child that the mother was pregnant with when that hearing took place. So there's 2 alleged children of this marriage.
Okay.
The court had ordered some DNA testing to occur that hadn't occurred yet.
Let me interrupt you and just simply say, what my concern is that Judge Wallace conducted an evidentiary hearing on the February 5th, 2026 date, and following that made findings of fact that served, the findings of fact served as the basis.
Oh, look who just appeared. Just spawned in.
Holy shit. Dude, how she spawned in too. That was like a jump scare.
That is the funny part about Zoom court, is sometimes this happens where people just spawn in out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
For his making the order in the case. Now, for me to change that order would basically retry the entire temporary motion, and it seems...
Oh yeah, also I sent you the thing I just got.
Oh, okay.
He's really cute.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
It's
a little Queenie and Kinger.
They've got little magnets in the hands, so when you put them next to each other, they just...
so
boop.
Cool. Oh my god. I love it so much.
Here, really quick, I'll show you guys chat.
I had a random theory.
What?
What is it? Now, sadly, this theory kind of falls on its face really quickly, unless there's some way of explaining why the abstracted people, when they moved from the game, didn't try to get the others out. But what if abstraction is the exit? You abstract, and there's nothing left. That's how you exit the game.
Have you seen the other theory?
I have not. What's the other theory?
That none of them are actually in the game. That they're all just copies of the people. The people put on the headset, and in the real world,
that would also make sense.
Nothing changed for them. They immediately took it off, and they're like, huh, that was weird. Nothing happened. And they just walked off.
Oh, that's fucking creepy. Oh, I like that one.
And one of the reasons people have...
guys chat too.
One of the reasons people have kind of latched on to that is when Kane is talking to them, he refers to them as like mind copies or something. He doesn't refer to them as people.
It does. It's true.
He has a weird term for them.
But here's what Mizu you got. It's a little key and Gwinner. Chingar Karen. Jesus.
Yeah, I ordered it a while back. It's super cute. They're like little keychains.
Noise.
They're little keychains that come with the keychain part like clipped onto each other. Because obviously you couldn't separate them.
Yeah. Can't separate them.
The more appropriate matter would be to reset this in front of Judge Wallace, who is here next month, and would be able to consider your motion to set aside or to modify his prior order.
And if your honor's inclined to do that, I'd be okay with that. I just, he didn't have... No matter what Judge Wallace did or did not hear, we know Mr. Thomas was not present, and there was no inquiry in regards to his ability to pay at that time.
Well, I'm disinclined to go behind what another judge has found and ruled upon, because there may be some other factor that, that wasn't made apparent.
That is a big thing.
Rachel is a mouth breather, and we need to fix that.
Yeah. That is a big thing with judges, though, a lot of the times, where it's like, so you have the power to overrule this other judge. Yeah, but I'm not gonna.
It's kind of it's a taboo only reserved for the most extreme or specific of circumstances.
Yeah. You can.
Yeah, a judge can overrule another judge, but yeah. Do you really want to?
Yeah, you need to give me like a good reason.
You also have to consider, that judge has additional context that you may not have as a new judge coming into this case.
Exactly. So it's just something.
What the fuck is Rachel Thomas? Do we have no idea?
I believe this is the mother in the case.
It definitely is, but yeah, she's like frantically looking shit up or something. I don't know. She has been focused on something. I just don't know what it is.
By the way, in a little bit, I will have to take like a very short break because I do have somebody coming to look at the AC. They said they'd be here in 25
that's
minutes.
No worries. That's fucking great. That's looking awesome.
It'll be a very
no
short break,
there.
though. I'll probably be gone for like 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
And then Ava will have to dance for you all.
To me, you had Judge Wallace's calendar.
That works for me. Salmon depositions. Looks like I'm available June 16th.
Well, I think that's, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but it clearly seems to me that Judge Wallace needs to consider a motion to set aside or to amend or change the order that he did after an evidentiary hearing.
People will have to pole dance for us.
Yeah, if he's going to be back next month, then this is an easy continuance.
Well, if you're going to go in front of him on any of them, I think you need to hear him. He needs to hear them all. So
yeah.
And there.
Yeah, no, like, look, come to find out, there's these other orders and stuff. This other judge has, looking at the schedule, he's gone this month, but he's back next month. This is an easy fucking, I'm sorry, I don't like to pass the book, but in this instance, it makes the most sense given the other judge has all the fucking answers, the context, and it's his orders that we're dealing with. So,
yeah,
we will see you all next month because it would be inappropriate for me to rule on this case when there's another judge that has a lot more context.
And he's going to cover more stuff for you next week anyways. So
yeah,
why not just let him do all of it?
Yeah, no, it makes the most sense.
There is an emergency motion.
Yeah, he's about to say it. It's an emergency motion. The only reason they would do it is because it's an emergency motion. And they have to kind of show that it's a real emergency.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because sometimes people will file emergency motions, and it's like,
oh my god.
Yeah, maybe kind of.
I'm sorry, I just read the. Yeah, we just came into like I guess this is marked with like timestamps and stuff. The emergency, a newborn placed for adoption out of state.
Yeah.
We are now in felony territory.
Exactly.
Motion we filed for immediate relief that's set for today. Mother there was a child, she was pregnant at the time of the last hearing. This child's since been born without any notice to father. This child has been removed from the mother, placed in an adoptive family in Colorado.
I did read that in the file.
Father was served Friday with the petition for adoption. Father's got 35 days, according to that Colorado summons, to file documents in Colorado contesting the adoption.
Well, let me ask this question. There was an order for DNA testing. Is that because there was some question whether he was the biological father?
With respect to both children.
And if he is the biological father of this child that's now being put up for adoption, obviously he has a vested interest in objecting to that. We'll go forward on that particular issue because I think there is an emergency basis. Why has there not been the DNA testing?
And that's why we filed the motion to review DNA testing. Again, Mr. Thomas was represented by previous counsel. They had entered an agreed order to participate in the DNA testing. The order required the testing to be scheduled by the father. There was some exchange between counsel about setting up the DNA testing. Mr. Thomas notified me he was going to any lab now. There was no specific place set forth in the order to do the DNA testing. Mr. Thomas noticed me. He was going to any lab now. I subsequently noticed opposing counsel. There was no objection made to that. The DNA testing was done and paid for by Mr. Thomas there. And then shortly thereafter, mother stated that she would, I guess, not be able to do the DNA testing at any lab now, and referred us to an email that was previously sent over saying, I believe it was another DNA lab, North America, would be more convenient for her. So it just seems like every time we get close to getting DNA testing done, mother is trying to interfere with that. Now we have a child in Colorado. I don't know how we do the DNA testing with the baby in Colorado. Mother has voluntarily taken this child, or let this child be taken. I believe she relocated to West Virginia due to abuse allegations that were prior to my time. There was an agreed order I saw in the file.
She lied?
Quite possibly.
She moved him out to Colorado and said they were in West Virginia. What the fuck?
Entered between her Mr. Thomas's previous counsel, Mr. Black, allowing her to relocate.
That's why we're here on an emergency order.
The child, I believe, was born there in West Virginia, and she subsequently has taken this child and placed the child in Colorado without any notice to the father. The first time he's heard of this child being in Colorado with these pre-adoptive parents was Friday when he received service of this petition. So we had filed the motion to review DNA testing today. Because we're having an extreme difficulty in getting this done. This order was entered, I believe, 2 or 3 months ago, maybe even longer ago than that, and we still don't have DNA testing done. I don't know how we accomplish it now with the child that's in Colorado.
Parties are before this court, and therefore, one option is that I simply order that the child, the mother, and the father all appear at a lab here in Tennessee, submit to the DNA samples being taken, and then we go from there.
And that's what we're asking the court for today, is enter a more clear order directing the parties regarding the DNA testing. Judge, with respect to the emergency motion for immediate return of the minor children, both of them, again, there's an issue with paternity that should have been resolved. It's not. I hope we can get that resolved very quickly. But mother has taken this child, and I would submit that the children are subject to this court's jurisdiction. I know the child wasn't born here, and opposing counsel might make some UCCJA arguments about it, but I believe this court has jurisdiction over the custody of these children. There's a pending divorce. This happened during the pendency of this divorce proceeding, and mother relocated voluntarily and is now attempting to just go behind the father's back and have this child adopted. If this is father's child, he absolutely asserts a right to custody. He wants to be the father. Mother surrendered and voluntarily terminated her parental rights. That's fine. Then the court needs to enter a 365-0 plan awarding custody to the father because he wants to be a father if he is indeed the biological father. So we're asking the court today for some immediate temporary relief, and that brings us to the other minor child in mother's care, custody, and control. We don't know. There's an order of protection that was entered and subsequently appealed by father that the court's reserved for final hearing.
And where is that? Is that in this court or is that in a different court?
It was originally in general sessions. They had a hearing, is my understanding, and then that was entered and appealed. So there's still an order not allowing Mr. Thomas to have contact. And he cannot have contact with Scarlett Thomas. I believe she's almost 2 or 3 years old now. But we're asking the court to return both of the children to father. We don't know what mother has put a child up for adoption. We don't know where Scarlett's located. We don't know how she's doing. We don't know if mother's a fit and proper parent to have sole custody of Scarlett. She has given the other child up for adoption. And so we're asking the court for a more clear order regarding the DNA testing, to order the parties to have DNA.
Just to point out, this is how psychotic some of these mothers get. Where this woman has unironically reached a point where she's like, if I can't have her, nobody can have her. So I'm just going to give her up for adoption.
Yep.
Genuine psychotic behavior. What are you supposed to do with that?
I mean, notice how I'm not remotely surprised at this.
Yeah. It's just it's genuinely, what am I supposed to do with this kind of information? This is just the kind of person she is.
This is actually going demon time.
Yeah.
Miss Kiv, you could probably learn a thing or two from some of these mothers, but this is what demon time actually looks like.
Yeah. It's just genuine evil behavior.
DNA testing completed within a specific amount of time, and we're asking the court to enter an order to have baby Thomas brought back from Colorado to Tennessee, and to have Scarlett Thomas returned to the father. I think it's a threat of irreparable harm that this child's outside of not only this state, but in Colorado. Mother, by the attachment with what father was served on Friday, it is clear mother has consented to the termination of her parental rights. So we're asking the court for that emergency relief today.
Your Honor, I do have a response on both of those. Would you like me to tackle the DNA testing or the...
Maisie, you look like you're moaning off screen.
Oh,
Your Honor, so the DNA testing,
that's what it is when I
my
look over.
recollection of events and what has happened is that there was an agreed order between Ms. Thomas and Mr. Mathis. So Mr. Thomas's prior attorney, that was last year. Subsequently, Mr. Mathis withdrew. There was no contact.
Speaking of taking a sippy, my even not my drinks now are like warm. It is.
Oh no, that's the worst.
It is a deeply unpleasant situation to be in.
It's look, I know. I literally, like, we ended stream and then I basically broke down. Like, not even joking. It was that bad.
And it might not be fixed. It might not be fixed till tomorrow. But the family friend is just coming out to look at it to see if it's something they can just like pop in, be done with. But we'll see.
Fingers crossed, man.
Might be.
Between us, had to hire a personal process server to actually serve Mr. Thomas some documents to try to find him. At that time, Ms. Thomas was absolutely willing to do DNA testing, and there was just nothing until very recently. There was a renewed push for the DNA testing, which Ms. Thomas is willing to do. I will point out to the court that Ms. Thomas is in another state due to domestic violence, which Mr. Thomas was convicted of in General Sessions Court by plea of guilty. She is in another state due to violations of an order of protection for multiple house break-ins, for following her to a medical facility and taking her vehicle. These are the reasons that Ms. Thomas is out of state. And so in an effort to preserve Ms. Thomas's undisclosed location, a essentially secret address, we were trying to coordinate DNA testing that could occur both locally here and where she was located. And that is why I proposed LabCorp. My understanding is when I had proposed...
Apparently, yes.
If you're so convinced and so like, oh, she needs to be out of state for her own protection, you're not going to have a lab in her area that you can conduct that testing with. If anything, it would set it up to where she has to travel like 8-10 hours out of her way to go to that lab to preserve the sanctity of that address because you're so concerned.
And
you made an entire argument and then fucking shot your own argument in the face when you said that, oh yeah, that's why we had her try to do a lab in her area. Well, now I know where she lives, you dummy.
Exactly. And there's also the matter of a court doesn't want to hear that you're willing to do something that you should have already done, such as
no.
What we're talking about now.
That's a bad thing. If that's the argument you're having to land on, you're already on the back foot and you're starting towards the loser road.
Yeah. Your Honor,
haven't lost yet,
we're willing to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, why haven't you? Well,
okay,
we're willing to do it.
Oh my god.
Like, you should have already done it then. Why haven't you?
Yeah, it should be done, yeah.
When I had proposed that is the testing location we were going to use. And then I received communication that is not the testing center that was used. And then at this point, we reached an impasse.
So are you saying that LabCorp is available to do the testing both for Mr. Thomas here as well as for your client wherever she may be living?
So here as in Hendersonville, Your Honor, and where my client is living. That was our proposition. I will say that while I have nothing to give the court at this exact moment, my understanding is that the newborn child of this marriage is located in Denver, Colorado, which I found out about, to make it clear to the court, found out about Thursday evening.
Who is the father of that child?
So
I love this.
I'm pretty sure that this is like Monday or even if it's an emergency hearing, it might be a weekend session. That sometimes happens with some states, who say that you found out about this Thursday, and it's opposing counsel who brought this emergency motion forward. That's not good. That's not good. The first thing that they're going to ask is, one, whose child is it, and two, why didn't you not inform the court of this when you found out Thursday?
So Ms. Thomas is going to say it's Mr. Thomas. I believe Mr. Thomas wants the DNA tested.
So we're going to, the order went down only as to Scarlett Thomas.
That's my understanding.
And there was a DNA request as to that child, and now we have another child born, and Mrs. Thomas says that that is Mr. Thomas's child.
Yes, Your Honor.
And she has placed that child for adoption?
That is my understanding. I will say on Ms. Thomas's behalf that there appears to be some evidence that this was an understood plan between them when they found out that the child was going to be born. That actually, according to Ms. Thomas and perhaps some messages she would admit at hearing, Mr. Thomas has spoken to the adoptive parents before, that there was some dispute over whether they were going to raise this child or not. And at this point, Ms. Thomas could speak for herself.
Well, if there is an afterborn child that was born while this case has been pending, then this court has jurisdiction over that child, regardless of what has been filed in the state of Colorado.
Very good.
Well, Your Honor, I will say simply for the fact that
FCF
I do not want to waive any
house
jurisdictional issue, and I've not had time since this was an emergency order filed. I would like to file the detailed response. I will raise a jurisdiction issue just to preserve it under the UCC JEE.
See, that doesn't really work in the eyes of the court to be like, well, you know, it's an emergency order, so I haven't had time to respond. Well, that's kind of the whole emergency part of that.
Your response time is now.
Yeah, you're here. Let's go. That's why it's called an emergency order, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, this is a perfect example of why emergency hearings and emergency orders have to happen, because people pull fucking dumb shit like this, like giving up their child for adoption and moving it across state lines.
Yeah. And
you know, this is the reason the emergency motion even exists in the first place, because people try to pull some bullshit before the court can react, thinking the court won't be able to react, and this is the avenue in which the court can react, put a stop to something before it gets too bad.
Also, this is not a convincing argument in front of a judge when we're already in what's clearly like a high conflict situation between these two people. It's like, okay, so you're now saying that they casually agreed outside of the purview of the court to get rid of the child with no paper trail. Even though we're in the middle of a somewhat high conflict situation between the two of them.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Like, no, the court's not going to buy that. You're already on the back foot. You need to just take the L and be like, yeah, Your Honor, my client fucked up. We'll do what we can to fix this. Or don't take the case. If your client's not willing to admit that, don't take the case, because you are... Why?
I mean, there's several things that this lawyer could say that in very much the same spirit you just said them. It's like, hey, look, I just found out myself. It was Thursday evening. I have not had a chance to even get together an emergency motion to discuss this. They were really dumb in doing this. I begged the court's forgiveness. I'm going to set them right. We're going to do what we can to make this right. And you might be able to, you know, get out of some serious repercussions here, because this isn't like the last one where, oh no, a minor rule was broken regarding, you know, custody. No, they gave up their child to another state. That's fucking crazy.
You're basically being accused of kidnapping, absconding.
Yeah. This is so much more serious than what most people would even consider.
Yeah. Like, this is not good for you. You need to take the L, walk it back.
She might be suffering from postpartum.
True.
But
it's not an excuse.
Yeah, it's not an excuse. It's another reason why she maybe shouldn't have her children.
Especially if she's going to do stuff like this on a whim.
It's not so clear which is the home state, because the newborn child, if we parse them apart, right? The older child, absolutely concur with Your Honor. The youngest child, there may be some dispute over what is the home state.
So,
you're currently in this court.
Lawyer did a very good job. Look, father's lawyer did a very good job because in this argument, he said, opposing counsel's probably going to try and make this argument. I'm saying this is bullshit and I'm getting ahead of it. And here we are, opposing counsel making the exact argument you already warned the judge. This is the perfect way to handle this kind of situation. Like, father's lawyer gets the fucking W here over mother's lawyer.
Yeah. You basically lost this one.
Because your strategy was called out and you still did it. Like, you should have at least tried to pivot. when that argument was made, it's like, hey, look, they're gonna try to fucking bring up the jurisdiction. Now I'm letting you know right now that's bullshit. So the jurisdiction is up for question. No, get out of here.
I've been informed that the state of Colorado has decided that they have jurisdiction and they're proceeding with this adoption proceeding. Again, I'm in candor to the court. It's a complicated issue to me, and I would need to file a brief and research that to give a response. But I do want to raise the objection that for the youngest child may not be the home state. But besides those things, Judge, I would also say
you cannot
that is the most animated reaction we've seen.
Understood.
By sending a child that is one of the children of these parties with a pending divorce action where custody of one child is already at issue, and then send one of the children that is alleged to be the biological child of Mr. Thomas, you cannot then send that to another state, that child, and defeat the jurisdiction of this court to make a custody determination. So I just want to make that clear that this court's opinion is that this court has jurisdiction over both children if they are in fact the children that were born of these parties, and that is what I'm told by both of you today. So I'm of the opinion that Mr. Thomas needs to contest the adoption, and if he does contest it, contest that adoption, I'm going to put an order down that's going to require both of the children to undergo DNA testing. How that is accomplished is going to be up to you and your client. That means that she's going to have to ensure that that child comes back and is tested. Now, we had a case not too long ago in this court where there was a woman who claimed to be a biological heir of an estate, and she lived in Washington State. There was a method by which she used a laboratory in the state where she lived to obtain her DNA sample. Then that was compared to DNA samples that were tested here in Tennessee.
Yeah, there's pathways to get this done.
It would seem to me that's what's going to have to happen here. You're going to have to obtain a DNA sample from this child in Colorado and a DNA sample from your client and her child wherever she is living, and then a sample will be taken from Mr. Thomas here at LabCorp, and all of those are going to have to be analyzed by LabCorp to determine the paternity issue. The order that this court puts down is that this court maintains jurisdiction over the parties and both minor children who have been represented to this court by counsel to be the biological children of these parties. And that the adoptive court in Colorado, obviously this is going to be an issue for the appellate courts if it goes through as a contested matter, but I think we got to first resolve if this child in Colorado is Mr. Thomas's biological child. If it's not, then there's no issue. If there is, then he has to take the steps to contest it there in Colorado. He cannot ignore the Colorado proceeding and rely upon this court's ruling, because Colorado may say, we don't care what Tennessee does, we're holding that we have jurisdiction. I'm ruling, I don't care what Colorado says, I'm saying I have jurisdiction, so.
Understood, Your Honor. On the emergency petition, essentially to return, I guess, both children to Mr. Thomas. On Ms. Thomas's behalf, I would also say that,
No, excuse me for interrupting, I apologize. Is there an order of protection still in full force in effect?
Yes, Your Honor, there is. There's also a pending contempt for those house break-ins. That is also in effect.
Give me a sec. I'll be right back.
And
I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. Also, look at that pose. I love it. We saw him get up off his chair, and then his character just like, look at that pose. I wish I could keep my mouth open so I could do the same pose. So like, oh my God, look at that over there. Well, I suffered with postpartum for 2 days, but that was also after a difficult C-section. Medicine pain. After recovering a bit, she was just fine. Sparky's Tech, I think the suffering from postpartum would need to be longer than a week. Otherwise, it's just considered normal recovery. Which, yeah, 2 days to recover after having her stomach ripped open to get the baby. I know it's more precise than that, but the idea of a C-section is crazy to me. Miz is happy to be with Eve. Okay. They're happy because their AC's gonna be looked at. Hopefully, there's nothing. There's a lizard in my room. Guys. I'm sorry, but with Rachel here, it feels like some reaction slot video. Yeah, no, I know. She looks like she's literally just reacting to everything. She's doing the Sniper Wolf talk face randomly. She'll pause it, go, that's wild. Oh, buddy. I took care of a postpartum patient. It was very taxing. I imagine so. It goes in phases. First phase at 6 to 12 hours. Okay, which I imagine first and second phase are probably pretty normal. And then you get to abnormal when you're like third or fourth phase, where it's like, no, this is hanging on for a while, and there's a neurological response, of detectable depression because you're postpartum. Give it a hug. Watching her case fall apart in real time, so she wanted to make a reaction. It'd be so funny. There's a reason why she hasn't said anything. Is that she's just muted. Oh, man. She saw our last video and thought being quiet like the dad would be best. Yeah, but this is where being quiet's not gonna, it's gonna help you, but it's there's a lot going on here that's not okay. She was locked up in a locked ward. She, the dad, and their kid were a mess. Oh man, that's pretty intense, Steph. This time they have lawyers. My phone died, but I'm back. What I miss? This lady gave her newborn up for adoption, and she's from Tennessee. And she sent it to Denver, Colorado. And now I think she's in like West Virginia or something. But she went to West Virginia. She sent her newborn to Denver, Colorado, and the father's in Tennessee going, what the fuck? He didn't have a, there he is. He doesn't have a tail. I think I think Draco brought him in, and then he got away. Because he's in here, he seems healthy and fine, but he doesn't have a tail. That just tells me that, yeah. Oh, Kitty's right here, all sleepy and dreamy. He's twitching. Get it, Kitty. Catch it. Catch the mouse, Kitty. Is that not human trafficking? Yeah, there's several problems with this. But the judge is handling it pretty well. Because Colorado's trying to say that they have jurisdiction over the baby, and I'm like, that's not how that works. So basically, all that can happen right now, though, is Judge Wolf here is agreeing to an emergency order in which DNA testing is being ordered on both of the children, the newborn and the other baby. And then from there, he'll be able to compel the return of the child and stuff if the father is actually genetically the father. Are they going to have to fight for the baby? No, I think Colorado will probably yield to Tennessee in this matter. But it does depend. Is Kitty gonna eat the lizard? No. Kitty's probably just gonna let the lizard suffer. I'm gonna have to catch the lizard and get him outside. That's what'll have to happen. Ted is also paying child support for both kids, but that'll be a later case. Yeah, no, for real. That's what happens. Lizard, mushroom, Spurget's hitting that Hopper's emote. Everyone's going lizard. Right, let's see here. Cherries. Sorry, Chad, I'm just setting up some booking. Larch Megos, Zolkov, how's it going? Eva, decide my dinner, Jewish Delight or Gobble Burger. Also, this Madness L, why would anyone think this was appropriate to do? That's a good question. I don't have an answer for you because we're dealing with insanity. But as for your dinner choice, I would choose a Gobble Burger, in my opinion. That's what I would do. Do. Next step. I don't know, but it's a burger. Oh my god. Then looking at this thing, it's like, hey, do you want to add travel protection? And I'm like, oh, for what? It's like, you get trip cancellation, trip interruption, and emergency assistance in transportation. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's like, we will give you $250,000 worth of emergency medical evacuation during your trip. And I'm like, whoa. Emergency medical evacuation? Jesus Christ. You get that hantavirus, we'll get you out of there. No, don't worry. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, I'm gonna put on the background music so we have something to listen to while we wait for Mizu. Okay, let's final details. If you break down or something goes wrong, they got you basically. Yeah, no, I get it. It's just kind of funny because they linked it as I'll pay at the property. What is it? It's like, oh, here. I'm like, no, I'm good. I got it, bro. Pay at the property. I shouldn't need a card number for this. I really shouldn't need a card number for this if I'm gonna pay at the property. Mizu is doing the adorable version of Giddy. By the way, yeah. The freaking so because it's gonna be a Friday night that I have to book. The Ko-Fi goal is basically what I'm giddy for, hoping that I have enough gas to get down there because it's gonna be like $300 for a night on the weekend down there, which is crazy. But this is kind of the world we live in now. Thanks, California. Love it. So happy. Couldn't be happier. Okay, so pay at the property. Complete booking. I can do Wear Wiggles. The hop. Touty Ear Wiggles. Alright, that is done. Looks okay. Move to a different state. I mean, that's, that's long-term goals for sure, but it is long-term goals. I just got the hotel room booked. It's not paid. I click pay at property, but guess how much it's gonna be because it's the weekend. Yeah, it's gonna be like 300. They take advantage. Look, it's like 150 or 148 or something like that when it's during the weekdays. But like, yeah, weekends, yeah, they're gonna bleed you dry. Back. No worries. The King of Daleks for 10, thank you so much. He was mentioned a few days ago, but you really sound like...
What?
Oh, this old Liz, Papa Outbursts, well, he fucking finished the job. My cat fucking brought in a lizard. It doesn't have a tail. The King of Daleks, thank you for the 10. It was mentioned a few days ago, but you really sound like Kasane Tito if she became an Ian Tuba. Oh my god. It's so funny. I just finished showing fan art of that.
So they were able to fix it. It is...
No way.
It is actually already fixed. I don't fully understand it. because I told Ava, the person I had coming is a relative that they don't currently do like HVAC stuff, but they used to. They used to work with an actual prominent HVAC company. So
yeah,
they kind of do it on the side as like a side gig because they know what they're doing with it. So they came by, and apparently all that happened is they said one of the wires blew, which they said is kind of common if it's a little too crowded in there.
Yep, I know exactly what happened.
And there's like a little...
You probably have 2 or 3 lines with 2 or 3 electrical wires with what's known as an in-lane fuse, and he probably had to replace that fuse.
Yeah, and then there's like this big cylinder thing that they all connect into. And he said that was actually fine, but he had an extra one, so he was just going to replace it anyways.
Oh, that's actually really good. That means that you will have to... Because usually the cylinder thing is a transformer. It takes the 110 volts that it comes in when it's plugged in, and it amplifies that energy greatly to run the compressor, which is what cools down the air that runs through it using the liquid that's in the compressor that acts as a refrigerant that goes through the coils.
Yeah. As far as I could
just said
gather...
a whole fucking lot. I know only a couple people in chat probably understood what the fuck I just said. But I do know what happened. I'm very happy it was only a wire, and he replaced her transformer, which means that's gonna...
Yeah.
That you won't have to worry about that for another 5-10 years.
Yeah, from what I could gather from him is basically nothing was really wrong with it. Like, nothing I could have necessarily prevented. It was just like a small issue.
Capacitor. Thank you, Sparkies. Yeah. I was not... It's not a transformer. I knew I was using the wrong term, but yeah, it's a capacitor.
Yeah, it was basically just a small fix.
Explain a capacitor said it was a transformer.
It really is just dark magic.
God damn it. Hey, it's dark magic. Yeah, it's dark magic.
By the way, thank you for the 12 jewels while I was gone. P. Rary. Much appreciated. And then Internet Zen Master, just because I always read it, and I don't know if I read this one before I left. Understand plan between them. Not a lawyer, but my BS detector is going off like crazy. If it's not in writing, the court doesn't count it, no? And the court can kind of count it if it's not in writing, but if it's already a high conflict case, and one side is disagreeing that it ever happened, they're going to look at it very suspiciously.
Usually expressed warranty. So what we're referring to is referred to as expressed warranty. This is something that protects you if somebody says, hey, you know, this restaurant that comes in, a host says, hey, this food is so good, I guarantee you'll get your money back if you're not satisfied or whatever, right? Now, that's just something that's said out loud, but there is standing to actually hold that person to what they promised through a concept of law known as expressed warranty. So a verbal contract does have weight, but the higher the level of conflict is between the A and the case, the less weight that express warranty will actually hold. Yeah, Sparky's replaces his every 5 years, exactly. With capacitors, it's like 5 to 10 years.
I wonder if this one's in the mailbox.
Life expectancy.
I have to go check out the mailbox later for it.
Oh, do you have something coming in?
Well, along with the little keychain I showed you, I had like a full-size Queenie plush coming in by itself.
Oh, that's cool. I'd love a full-size Kinger plush. Because it's like the perfect size. Like, I like to hug a pillow when I sleep. And it's like the perfect length and size of a pillow to hug when I sleep.
Yeah. For some reason, they shipped together, but for some reason, they put them with different, not Glitch themselves, obviously, but the local mail people, for some reason, gave them to 2 separate delivery people.
Oh, that's stupid.
So one of them had the keychains, one of them has the plush. I don't know why they decided that was a good idea. Because I can see it on the tracking. Every step of the way, they were right beside each other. And then at the very end, they were just given to 2 separate delivery people. So one of them is still out with it, and the other one just gave me the keychains. A bot on Twitch, my bad. I don't understand how these bots keep slipping through, because I have literally every permutation of stream boo blocked. They've got to be using like some separate specialty characters. No, I'm getting them on Twitch.
If you get a full-size Kinger plushie, either you'll get a plush the size of a chess piece or something twice your height. Shut the fuck up. God damn it. It's every fucking time. There's never a single stream I can't escape the short jokes. Jesus.
Also, chat,
It's funny
I do
you're
get a lot
talking
of
about
plushies.
HVAC, and I have limited experience with HVAC. The reason why is because I used to work for a crawl space company. Because I'm the size that can get into those crawl spaces. I don't get why loot tubers are getting so defensive. I'm JJ Demon Monkey, we're on Lawtism. Thank you for being my resident VTuber trauma reporter, but not today.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you know, I can turn that into a law question, because I was thinking about this the other day. Is, you know how there's kind of rules when it comes to advertising to children? Like a huge one is SpongeBob himself cannot advertise to the children. That violates like advertising rules.
Yes.
What is it when like a not safe for work company specifically makes a safe for work advertisement intentionally to be in a space where children are?
You know what? We can actually look at this through a legal lens. So, JJ Demon Slayer, I'm so sorry for shutting you down. I'm actually going to read your comment now. I don't get why YouTubers are getting so defensive when it comes to the Fansley booth at Off-Kite Expo and the exhibitor hall. I think they're hiding something. One, I don't think they're hiding something, but I do think... I don't know, if you are... I mean... Here, let me check something.
I don't like it.
I need to check something. Fansley...
Because they do
I
have...
just need to see, because like OnlyFans, right, you immediately are age-gated, right?
Yeah.
I've never really used Fansley. Let me go to Fansley. Okay, it requires that I sign in or log up.
Because the example I gave, basically, was it's like, imagine you had an all-age...
By joining, you agree to our terms and conditions, and that you are at least 18 years old. So you're telling me that this company that is expressly advertised as an 18-plus company is encouraging minors to do anything with them?
Well, they're putting it in the all-ages space, right? And I don't think...
I don't know about that.
I'm not saying it'd be legal.
I don't like that.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Especially when the event has an explicit 18-plus space that it could have been moved to. And their excuse is the booth won't have anything that is directly 18-plus advertised on it.
You are Fansley, okay? It'd be like OnlyFans. Setting up a booth in the fucking all ages category. No. This is not okay and is dangerously close, just the nature of your company. The fact that to even be a member, to sign up, to onboard on your website, I have to be 18 years old, and you're putting your shit in. I don't think it's crossing the line of, but this is getting goddamn close to contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Yeah.
As a company, that's fucking crazy.
The kind of example I gave is, imagine you went to like an all ages event, and in the center of the event, there was a booth for a sex tape company that was advertising their porn stars, but technically all of them were fully clothed and they didn't actually have any not safe for work stuff on the booth. Would you still be okay with it in that case?
Yeah, no.
People are...
I found out there's VTuber freak-off parties at other hour, at the after hours in conventions. Yes, that's worth every convention.
So you missed out on why that was funny, because somebody called that out. And half the people were saying that he was crazy and that wasn't happening. And half of the other people were saying, oh, you're so bitchless that a little orgy after party scares you.
A little orgy. Just have a little, it reminds me of that clip where it's always sunny in Philadelphia. Dennis and fucking Frank go to a Eyes Wide Shut party. They knock on the door, and the guy opens the door. He's in a robe and a mask. He just goes, password, and Frank just goes, orgy. He would, what?
Oh my
No, you
God,
can't be that casual with the word orgy. A little there's no such thing as a little orgy. The name implies a plural of genitalia. Genitalia is happening. Like, what are you talking about?
It was fun watching them try and make excuses for it.
Oh, so off Kai? Yeah, definitely off Kai.
Thank you for the Dojin character. It's very appropriate. Anyways, chat, we will try and finish this legal thing. I'm so sorry that I had to run away from you for so long, but I really wanted my heat to be fixed.
Dude, I'm so happy it's fixed. It's already feeling cooler in there, right?
Yeah, I could already feel it chilling down.
Fuck yes.
Because the problem is I have a window unit, but it's literally on the complete opposite end of the house. So I was just kind of...
Oh yeah, no, it's not gonna help you.
It was kind of sort of
It's not gonna help
helping.
you at all. It's always wild to me seeing that everyone and their grandma decides to weigh in on all this with so little fifth-hand info. That is true. I am reacting to all this information purely off rip. I have not even read any of this stuff. So that is fair. I will look into it more and see if my opinion changes once I've looked into it all. But I don't think it's great for Fansly, or OnlyFans or any, predominantly 18+ service and website to advertise in the all ages area of a convention, especially when there's an 18+ section.
Yeah.
Original order of protection. What provision is made for I don't have the order of protection in this file
I can provide it. I believe Mr. Bellamy had said that Scarlett is listed under it, which is our oldest child. I did not see that, but I can provide it.
Well, and my question, of course, is what, if any, provision is made in...
Oh, real quick, in Anima, if you were talking about the off-Kai, reports of orgies and stuff like that, I also agree, because I've actually talked to people who've reportedly gone to these conventions, and they swear that these orgies have happened, but their stories don't quite make sense.
Yeah.
I imagine there's probably some of that going on, but I imagine there's a lot more is being inflated for clout and content, more than it's actually happening, if that makes sense.
Which is fair.
Because that's great content. Oh yeah, did you hear who such and such hooked up with who and who at the convention? It doesn't have to be true. And it creates talking and wild conspiracies and all the engagement that they wanted in the first place, so.
And that order of protection for the one child that's there that we know, Scarlett.
So I'm looking at the...
Well, here's the thing, too. I know Anima, that someone has gone to a lot of these conventions. So if they're like, yeah, it's kind of crazy that people just make these conclusions, I kind of want to side with them a little bit more because, again, every year they're traveling and going to conventions and stuff. I'm not naming which ones, but I've heard they go to a lot of them in person, and their reporting is not the same as all of the sensation-wise reporting.
Yeah.
Petition and...
Also to clarify, because chat said, let me guess, Mizu, you set your AC to 60 degrees. I set my AC to exactly 69 degrees. And no, it's not for the meme. For some reason...
No, 69 is perfect.
If I hit 70, it suddenly feels like I'm burning up for some reason. And if I hit 67, I feel like I'm freezing. So it has to be 68 or 69.
Yeah, no, 69 is perfect.
68 is for during winter when it gets cold. I prefer it to go up to 68. And 69 is during summer for when it's hot, and I prefer it to go down to 69. I'm very particular about my thermostat.
Like the play that you have with the thermometer. Yeah, the thermostat's like, because, when with it set at 70, it's supposed to go off at 70, but it might not actually catch up to 70 on the thermostat until it's 74.
Yep.
Now you have a 5-ish degree difference, and that's the issue. 69, however, that's going to keep it on just long enough that you're keeping it closer to 72 degrees, which is, more ideal for, comfortable living.
Yeah. I am literally the dad from the cartoons that is like throwing javelins at people trying to get near my thermostat. You do not touch my thermostat. It is perfectly set.
That's so funny.
If it is below the thermostat, you can swap it to heat. If it's above the thermostat, you can swap it to cold, but you cannot change the amount. I will stab you.
Well, that is so funny. You like Sheldon trying to describe the reason why his spot is his spot. It's perfectly away from this. It's perfectly spaced from this. And if you touch it, I swear to God.
Yeah, you don't touch a man's thermostat.
Problem with renting from old people is they set thermostat at 25 degrees Celsius, which makes it 32 degrees upstairs, or 77/90 degrees Fahrenheit. Ew, gross.
Ugh.
Never make anything 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
Disgusting.
Okay, JJ, we have Lawtism, so no more drama for now. Yes.
Just looking at the petition, I do not see Scarlett listed on the petition, but it was the...
SpongeBob, me boy. Sorry.
Thank you.
By the way, while you were gone, we were speculating that Rachel's mic might be muted, which is why she hasn't been freaking out this whole time.
I think there's a potential that she is just a mouth breather.
I think she is. Imagine running heat in May. I actually just started turning off gas to the heater since I'm the only one who can figure that out.
This is the temporary order that I've been handed. And then you're saying that there's already been a hearing on that temporary order of protection and it was extended?
Yes, Your Honor.
And was that in circuit court or general sessions and then it was appealed?
It was appealed, and the appeal was not heard, and by agreed order, it was set off.
It was reserved for final hearing
That's
by previous
correct.
counsel. So it's my understanding the order of protection that was entered by the General Sessions Court is still in effect, and Mr. Thomas has no contact with either the petitioner nor the minor children covered under the order of protection.
Well, I'm looking at the order that was entered in this court after the hearing on February the 5th. In paragraph 2 of the findings of fact is the wife testified that she had been married to Mr. Michael Thomas, husband, since 2024. The wife testified the parties have a 10-month-old daughter born of the marriage, Scarlett Thomas, and that she was also pregnant with the marriage's second child, which is due in early March. So, according to Judge Wallace's finding, and that's the order that you're asking to be set.
Yes, real quick, Pasha, though, asks, or doesn't ask, but says, oh, Wolf has his own YouTube channel. Many of the judges that you will see us review usually have content that they upload on some medium themselves because they understand that, this is getting engagement and views and stuff like that. Like, Judge Simpson, like Judge Fisher, Judge Wolf, a lot of these have their own channels.
Set aside, he made a finding based on her testimony that that was, in fact, the child of the marriage that's now in Colorado sought to be adopted. And it goes on to talk about these findings of fact. Nowhere in that order does it specifically order anything other than temporary spousal support. It doesn't put an order down regarding the temporary parenting plan or custody of the minor child.
That's my understanding as well, Your Honor. If I can say, though, we would object to Mr. Thomas having the children, and there's a lot of reasons to that maybe perhaps Ms. Thomas could add with testimony, but she's...
Nope, absolutely. You can't... give up your children, but also not allow the one other person who has a right to custody of their children. You don't get to have it both ways. That's crazy.
Been the primary caretaker.
Well, Mr. Thomas filed for DNA testing. I'm not going to grant him custody of children that he has a question of whether or not.
Yes,
when I started practicing law, that was a factor that if a parent, a father requested DNA testing, that was a factor the court could consider among all the other factors in determining whether or not he ought to have, what type of visitation or custody or whatever. So if he's questioning whether this is his child or not, then I'm not likely to say those children have to come back and live with him, especially in view of the fact that there are orders of protection in place.
Also, that is fair.
Pending any questions, Your
Hey,
Honor,
just kind of slow your roll. We're just doing DNA testing right now.
Mess. And
yes, it is.
I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to check with Judge Wallace. It may be better if I heard this case and through its I don't really want to, but it may be better if I can do it. We checked on your availability on the 16th,
Wait, wow.
Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm
this
available.
Is rare.
What about the 15th?
Holy shit.
I can check.
You fucked up enough that this judge went, we usually don't do this, but I might take this case from the other judge because I've got questions and my interest has been piqued enough to go, you know what? I'll take this one.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not good for this lady. Jerry by chat. Yeah, no, my chat's saying, we're not far away from from judges just streaming and talking to chat. Chat, give me 80 bits and I'll give him life.
What did we set on the 16th? Anything for me? Yeah, I can give you the 16th.
16th would work for me, Your Honor.
I'd like to just check with Judge Wallace. If he doesn't have an objection to me hearing the motion that you filed, then I would suggest we hear everything on the 16th. And if Ms. Thomas, I think we need to get this DNA testing done as soon as possible.
Understood.
Judge.
So we're talking about June 16th to hear everything, all of these motions, and between now and then, I want the DNA testing performed on both Scarlett and the child that's in Colorado. That DNA testing will be performed by a sample taken by Mr. Thomas by LabCorp here in Hendersonville, a sample for Mrs. Thomas and the minor child Scarlett in the state where she resides by LabCorp, if there is one there, and by LabCorp in Colorado where this minor child is. It would be Mrs. Thomas's obligation to ensure that the child's sample is taken and that proof is obtained from Colorado of the validity of the identity of that child. In other words, I tell you this story that we had a well-known ne'er-do-well down in Humphreys County who is a member of a famous music family down there. And he was hired, or rather he was sued for child support. Back in that day, they, set you up with the father and the mother, and the child all went to get the blood test done. So came back negative, and the mother just was irate, could not believe it. And anyway, they apparently took a picture of the father and the child and the mother. It wasn't the defendant. He had sent one of his buddies to go have sit in his stead, and of course it came back it wasn't. And later, it was his child.
God.
So they had
wow,
to
that is a fucking move.
Yeah.
What
Holy
I want
shit.
is to make sure that that child is identified in the state of Colorado sufficiently by whatever means, photography or whatever, that we can ensure that Mr. Thomas knows this child that is being tested in Colorado is in fact the same child that we're having questioned. And so I think we do that DNA testing, and I'd like to have that done within the next 10 days on all parties, and then we reset it for June 16th, and hopefully we'll have the results of that at that time. And I will check with Judge Wallace to see if he has any objection to me considering your motion.
She just has such a bizarre look on her face the entire time this is happening.
She really does. I've not even really seen like reactions from her. Just that face.
I'm normally not one for like you need to like make an expression because you're kind of not supposed to.
You know, to actually be really funny. In this entire time, because we keep watching her like lean in, look at the screen and stuff like that. She's actually been trying to figure out how to get sound. She can't hear any of them. She hasn't heard anyone this entire time.
She doesn't even think the court has started, and she's just playing Candy Crush.
Yeah. It's the only thing that explains her sucking blank expression through this entire thing. She's really not shown any reaction.
It's so weird.
It's unnerving, is what it is.
Motion to modify his
Maybe she doesn't know about the Zoom chat.
We'll go from there.
Maybe.
All the other motions, I would think, need to be heard on that same day. I realize it's an emergency type situation, and that's why I'm giving you the June date. I'm supposed to be in Humphreys County that month, so.
Appreciate it, Judge.
Anything else?
If I may, Judge, and this kind of gets into temporary support, I don't.
You know what really kills me that I just noticed it? There's this Zoom thing up here in the courtroom. You can clearly see her face on the TV.
Until you pointed it out, I didn't realize that was just being displayed in the courtroom. Holy shit.
And from this distance, you can clearly see her face on screen, too.
Yeah, you can just... Oh my god, that's too funny.
So it's not just like the judge and the attorney. Everybody else in this, like the bailiff, the opposing counsel, everybody could just see like her weird facial expression she's making.
Oh man. Oh man.
It's killing me now that I see it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna not notice it now. It's just there on display for everyone. Oh man.
He needs to get closer to a mic.
Well, he pays for his test. He pays for his test. She pays for her test, and he's the one who's requesting the testing. So it's going to understand that I'll consider that at the next hearing, but he's going to have to bear the cost of.
Okay, I'm trying to bro, if you have something to say, you can stand at your desk in front of you. There's a microphone pointed literally at the chair you left to stand, not at the podium, to fucking talk. What are you doing? There's someone at the podium. If you have something to say, speak into your microphone at your table. There's no reason he should be entering the well.
Yeah.
The test itself, she will pay for the test for herself and the two children. He will pay for his test and the performance of the actual DNA testing.
Yeah,
so we'll go with an itemized list of what the charges are for the test. And
correct.
She's responsible
whatever.
For herself.
Right.
Understood, Your Honor.
Otherwise, the other option
Goddamn
you
right,
have
it's
is
understood.
tote that child back from Colorado, bring it here, and have all three of them. Have all three, your client and the two children, tested at LabCorp in the state she lives in.
Understood, Your Honor. And I'm going to ask just one clarification and request to this court. If those are determined to be Mr. Thomas's children, can Ms. Thomas be reimbursed for her cost of the test?
If they are Mr. Thomas's children,
yes, sir.
She can make application for
Sure, why
reimbursement
not?
at that point in
Understood.
time. Normally, if someone contests that being their child, and it turns out they are, then they requested the DNA, they have to pay for it in the end result. But
Yeah.
as was pointed out, if he's incurring a great deal of expense to fight an adoption of a child he never consented to being adopted, then that may be a factor as well. So.
Yeah, so I think they have it a little backwards in that he is contesting the parentage because she's saying he's not.
Yes.
Sort of.
Yes.
So if it was on the other foot
what's happening.
and he was saying, this ain't my kid, I want a DNA test to prove it's not my kid, and it turns out it's his kid, then yeah, it does make sense that he would have to pay both people's costs. But it's the other way around. She's contesting that he's the father.
No. She said no. She has contested that he is the father. I remember that for earlier from his argument. He was saying she claims that Mr. Thomas is the father.
Okay. In that case,
which makes what she did even worse.
Yeah. In that case, maybe he would be the one to pay for the full thing. The problem is
he's the one who wanted it.
The problem is, like the judge said, this other thing that's going on.
Yeah, it's not that he wants this. I don't think he thinks, like, ultimately, I think it's a thing of, listen, there's probably been some proven unfaithfulness, and I need to know from a legal standpoint, because if they're not my kids, I'm not gonna, one, try to claim custody to them, and two, give you child support for them.
Exactly, yeah.
You have given up one of these children before the DNA fit test could even happen, and you transferred them across state lines. If this is my child, which I don't know, this is a big problem. And so step one, DNA test. That's what needs to happen. If they're my kids, I'll pay for the test. If they're not, you're responsible for the costs that you incur.
Yeah. I guess we will see where it goes with this guy. She's still going to be on the back foot for this adoption thing.
Yeah, no, she's in a lot of trouble for that. I imagine she's not going to be charged or anything, but I could, if I was a prosecutor, I saw that, I'd be like, you know what? We're gonna kind of look into that, I think.
Absconding with the children is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Absconding with the children to another state is worse.
Giving the child away.
Absconding to the children
you
with
moving
another
from Tennessee
state
to West Virginia and sending your baby to Colorado.
Yeah.
That's you guys started in the middle. You sent your baby in one direction, you fled in the other direction, and you think that this is okay?
Especially when you're admitting the guy as the father. You're on 5 or 6 levels of you fucked up at this point. Absolute psycho woman.
If there were circumstances like abuse crime, I could understand, but it doesn't seem like she's reported him for. No, he does have apparently some domestic violence charges and stuff. He has a pending contempt hearing or something like that. So, I imagine the father isn't great, but this doesn't this case in this hearing isn't on the father and whether or not he's, should be in custody. Is this person the biological father of these children? And also, you cannot fucking send your child away to another family in another state in the middle of us trying to determine whether or not you guys are even the actual parents. You can't do that. So, all the other stuff, what crimes he might have committed, what standing he might have, that's really irrelevant, as we have to look at the actions of the mother, which can be construed as an attempt to circumvent the jurisdiction of that court. That's a problem.
Understood.
I'm of the opinion that we have it all heard on the 16th, and we will sort it all out to the best of my ability at that time. So we'll stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
You going to draw the order?
I'll prepare an order, Judge. Thank you.
As quickly as she appeared, she's gone.
Didn't say a word the whole time.
Didn't say a word. I mean, that was impressive. And I am happy to hear that. Or not hear that, rather, bud. Did the mom giving up her rights to the second child be used in determined custody of the first? No.
Although, there is possibility that her absconding with the child could be used to determine her fitness.
Yeah, that's true.
It wouldn't be like an easy slam dunk, but...
With her first... No, it wouldn't be a slam dunk, but you could make an argument, because she did leave with the first child to West Virginia, and then adopted out the second child, the newborn, to Colorado. So I guess you could use it and be relevant in the sense that she actually physically absconded with the first child, but, usually it's a case-by-case basis. You're going to look at it per child. And that's usually what a guardian ad litem will do, too. Because there have been instances where it's like, hey, you know what? This kid is better with his father, and this one's kind of better with their mother.
I like how they just left it on, but everybody's left the corner.
Yeah, wait. What the fuck?
All the cameras are still on, but everybody's...
I'm just kind of looking around. I was like, well...
But...
All of a sudden, the Monster Mash comes in.
That was what we had today, chat. Again, I'm super sorry I had to take some time away to fix some problems.
At least the problems are fixed, though.
Yes.
But yes, that is everything we have. I have to do a bunch more packing and everything because we leave tomorrow. So we will not see you on the YouTube side until probably Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on how early I get in on flight on Tuesday.
Fair.
So we will see you all later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell as hard as you possibly can. And Mizu, who are you raiding out into, and what do you have going on this week?
I still have Cardboard Crack tonight with Akko. Before I send everybody away,
not surprising.
I just wanted to share with you all that the Grimoire came in. That is what we're calling it.
Yes, it did.
This is my new Grimoire. You can see on the right my Dark Magician Girl binder, which is a normal 3x3. On the left is my new National Dex binder, which is going to have one of every Pokemon in it,
up on my end
which
too.
is a 4x4. And then behind the both of them, you see what I am starting to call the Grimoire.
There you go.
It is a 6x6 binder I found.
Yeah, so normal size binders are usually 4x4. You can see that on the left. It's double the fucking lateral space than that. So, I mean...
To be fair, normal size binders are 3x3. I only recently found the 4x4.
Oh, are they 3x3? Really?
Yeah. You can get a 2x2.
The 4x4 is nice. Okay, so normally the 3x3.
Yeah. You can get a 2x2, which is cute. And it's more for people that like have specialty cards they want to show off.
2x2s.
2x2s are normally more fancy
so
because they are meant for like special cards. You can get 3x3, which is your normal size binder, which kind of comes out to the size of the old school binders. It holds like regular leaf paper type stuff.
Which is 3x3, your magical girl.
Yeah.
Oh, binders. That's the 3x3.
4x4 is a new one I had found, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. They're pretty thick though, because they're still ring binders. The 6x6, because of how big it is, it is not a ring binder. The pages are made into the book itself.
Yeah, so you're, that's going to be your cream of the crop. You're not just going to throw pages and pages of bullshit in there,
Yeah, but even then, the book by itself, with 0 cards in it, weighs like 7 or 8 pounds.
God damn, what kind of materials in there?
I bought from a reputable company that has pretty well-made binders. I bought one of their smaller ones first to test it, but it's really solid material. Because if I'm going to put them in there, I want to make sure they stay safe, because I am sort of paranoid after my original binder of cards got destroyed, mostly because of my mom, but still.
Oh. Yeah, not fun.
Thank you, Baracho, for the 10.
Right.
If Mizu gets peed on, why?
What the fuck?
If Mizu get peed on, does he turn into a golden Mizu, a golden Pizu, if you will? Is golden Mizu tanned with a golden bikini? Been wondering this since the start of the stream.
Dear God.
If you get fan art of it, I'm not going to turn it down. But I'm not going to answer it myself.
Oh, if they make it, fan art will come.
Yeah. And then...
But alright, chat, I'm going to raid you guys out into Cinder.
Artemis calls it the Puddlenomicon.
Oh my God. That's a good one.
Now, I may send you guys to Cinder as well. It depends who all is streaming.
Boom. Get double rated.
Yeah, I'll send you out to Cinder. Be good, everybody, and we will be back later
go.
for more cards. I do have some fun ones to show off tonight if you are interested. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.